Today's special guest with Pierre Novellie will be starting very, very soon. Make yourself comfortable, get some drinks. I should probably say hello. Remember to hydrate, etc., etc. This is your time. Like, I guess it's an interval. What's an interval called if it's not an interval, but at the beginning? What's one of them called? A beginning interval, and then see you soon. Stay. Well, don't stay. I mean, like, great time to go to the loo, play on your phone, all of that kind of stuff. I'll see you all. See you all soon. Promise.
Appalachian sunrise meets my skin. Even with my eyes still closed, I can feel it coming in. Golden, golden, I'll follow only golden, 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 golden things. Mountain laurel high fives for miles in spring. Rainbow trout and a hummingbird wing. Golden, I'll follow only golden, golden, golden things. Gold hair, gold rings, gold leaves, gold anything, golden, I'll follow only golden, golden, golden things. Walk up the river by my son. Feet step over splinters of the moon. Golden, I'll follow only golden, golden, golden things. Gold birds, gold string, gold words, gold anything, golden, I'll follow only golden, golden, golden things. Golden, I'll follow only golden, golden, golden things. Appalachian sunrise meets my skin. Even with my eyes still closed, I can feel it coming in. Golden, golden, I'll follow only golden, 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 golden things. Mountain laurel high fives for miles in spring. Rainbow trout and a hummingbird wing. Golden, I'll follow only golden. Golden, golden things. Gold hair, gold rings, gold leaves, gold anything, golden. I'll follow only golden, golden, golden things. Walk up the river by my son. Feet step over splinters of the moon. Golden, I'll follow only golden, 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 golden things. Gold birds, gold string, gold words, gold anything, golden. I'll follow only golden, 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 golden things. Golden, I'll follow only golden, golden, golden things. Appalachian sunrise meets my skin. Even with my eyes still closed, I can feel it coming in. Golden, golden, I'll follow only golden, 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 golden things. Mountain laurel high fives for miles in spring. Rainbow trout and a hummingbird wing. Golden, I'll follow only golden, golden, golden things. Gold hair, gold rings, gold leaves, gold anything, golden. I'll follow only golden, golden, golden things. Walk up the river by my son. Feet step over splinters of the moon.
Hey, welcome to a very, very special interview with, I don't know if it's interview. I never ever said to him it's an interview. Could I do a very tiny bit of housekeeping? Could I get an F in the chat if the technicals are working? It would be great to make sure that the tech stuff is go before we go grab a guest and then stuff just doesn't work. I'm seeing a lot of haze. All right, F's, cool. Thank you all so very, very much. So for those of you who were wondering, Pierre Novellie, why can't I just enjoy things? Fern Brady, outstanding. I want to press it into the hands of, I can hear myself back on my phone, I think. Turn myself down. Outstanding. I want to press it into the hands of every newly diagnosed person, says Fern Brady. I finished the book this afternoon and it is absolutely fantastic. I fully agree. Yeah, press it into the hands of autistic people. Also, very interestingly, Pierre grew up on the Isle of Man and went to school here. We have some interesting stories, I think. So, I couldn't imagine too many better people to talk to Pierre. I don't know, blow my own trumpet, but anyway, can't blow Pierre's trumpet. That'd be inappropriate. So welcome everybody. Concrete Jungle, hold on to your hats. Darren, F in the chat. Shalom on 12. Hello, hello everyone. So Pierre will be joining us in a few minutes. The audiobook was great. It's Lucy Bird. Yeah, I thought the audiobook was brilliant. It's read by the author, so you kind of get that intonation that you kind of miss when you're just reading the text. But this is a fantastic book. It's got about a dozen chapters and it goes through everything from the sort of history of autism, focusing a lot on British banter and culture, which I think is super, super interesting, you know, particularly from my perspective, being in Britain, right? Or the Isle of Man, very, very similar. Talks about the sort of sensory and lived experience of autism. Everything from misophonia to making eye contact at urinals. We'll be talking about all of this. What's he holding on the cover? He's holding what appears to be a cake of some sort with a caterpillar with googly eyes. with one candle, signifying that he's 1 year old. Helen, I enjoyed the book a lot. TJ, I watched some of his stand-up this week. Good stuff. Me too. I've binged some of his stand-up. It is absolutely outstanding. In fact, the audiobook version has a couple of extra chapters in it. So Pierre does he makes eye contact to your idols. Well, for example, Jansen, eye contact to your idols is the name of my next punk album. So I think I'm not sure we start with eye contact at urinals, or perhaps we should start by asking Pierre to tell us a little bit about himself. Eye contact at urinals, oh the horror of male urinals and eyes. Yeah, you don't do that. You just look forward. No, his actual line is eye contact at an interview is different to eye contact at a urinal. That's his actual line in context. Before you think you've tuned into the wrong stream for a moment, that's actually what he said. Pierre received, I say he received his adult autism diagnosis, like you receive it in a vision as some sort of like the lottery numbers from a heckle. So there was a guy with Asperger's, I think it was a guy, who said that he might have Asperger's. Normally, a heckle is followed by a put down. This one was followed by a diagnosis. I think that is really, really good. We need to make sure that he's popped his antihistamines when he arrives. Being allergic to cats is not a good start, but it's fine. Who thought a circle was a good shape for a urinal? Festive toilets means you have to make eye contact. Is not right. What? Festival toilets? What? Concrete? Jansen, the rule is simple. Eyes forward, head down, not talking. This is true. Lucy's going to be in person. Yeah, shortly. In a few moments. We're just warming up the room for him. Sean Seacrest, I come on. The first thing I hear is Mike reading TJ's comment. I'm rethinking several of my major life decisions right now. He also goes on to talk about things like, he's got one chapter called Why Can't Anyone Else See How Interesting My Hobby Is? Which I think a lot of us can relate to. We have an info dumping section on the Discord. We've got other interest stuff as well, but you know what I mean? It's good to get a good old info dump as well. He spends a lot of time in his book talking about emotion and tone. Those things that, whereas, you know, an autistic person may tend to rely more on the the words, saying what you mean, meaning what you say. There is a lot of other stuff that goes along with it. There's a good section here that I really, really relate to, which is, for example, doctors, where you're at a GP or at doctors, and they're asking you, so how is the pain on a scale of 1 to 10? You're like, well, what do you mean? Or you don't sound serious. So I had a rotator cuff injury a year ago. I couldn't raise my arm more than just a few degrees up. It wasn't doing anything amazing. It was putting on a suit jacket and my arm. And I said to doctors, well, how bad's the pain? It's like, well, right now it's nothing, but it's excruciating if I move it too much. And they're like, you don't look like you're in pain. And it's like, well, okay. I didn't realize that I had to act it out. I didn't realize that I had to go, doctor, I'm in so much agony. Ditto relationships as well. It's going to be one of those streams. What's happened? TJ, what did I do? From sausage gravy to urinals. Yeah, we will spend some time on urinals when Pierre arrives. And, this thing about when you're young, being told repeatedly that lying is bad and telling the truth is good. And you should always tell the truth. Here's the thing, guys. He says, good thing telling the truth about emergencies or crime. But aside from them, it's time to lie almost constantly. Yes, indeed. These insights and more in Pierre's book. This is exceptional. I'm in stained glass supply shop somewhere in Washington. Enjoy. Have fun. This stream will be recorded, by the way, so anyone that misses it. However, you will miss the giveaway at the end. Someone will win the copy. This copy, this exact copy. Someone will win. You should always tell the truth as NC propaganda. Indeed, you should always tell the truth. Says the one who lies. Right? It's literally it's like that. It's like that kind of conundrum from Labyrinth. With David Bowie, you got those like two kind of guards, and one always lies and one always tells the truth. LA is actually an exceptional book. It's right up there. I would press this into the hands of every newly identified person. I wish I had enough money for a whole stack of them to just hand out to people and go, right, this book, read it. Take it home with you. But yeah, again, also in relationships, when you're pissed off, I mean, he talks about losing your shit, but having to obviously lose your shit to be sort of seen as being upset, as opposed to just explaining it. And he's right. He's 100% right. Yeah, indeed. How bad is the pain question? By saying I have high pain tolerance, low awareness of pain, walked around for weeks and fractured leg once. Ouch. Oh, that sounds painful. And also on the subject of misophonia, which he talks about in his book at quite a lot of length. Well, I won't drink this on the microphone. This stream will be recorded in front of a live studio audience. Yes, where everybody is at home, or mostly at home. There's a few people at work. But everyone's at home, just wearing your pants. That means something different over here. Yeah, just wearing your underpants and you're sort of sitting on your sofa or on the corner of your bed, peering over your phone. That's the studio audience. Which actually, by the way, is how it should be, right? It's essentially like, remote working, but remote entertainment. It's the same sort of thing, right? Ray Peterson, that's a very big studio. The studio is the size of the world. Where is everyone from? I've seen Argentina in the chat. We've got Australia as well. America, the UK. Jansen, it's like between us and the Americans, we're separated by common language. We talk about, Pierre's just joining us, but at the time we were talking about urinals and underpants. Let's bring him in. So I've already introduced Pierre Novellie, the comedian extraordinaire and writer of Why Can't I Just Enjoy Things? Let's see if the technicals work. Pierre Novellie, how's it going? Can you see me?
I can, yeah. I'm trying to put my my sound through my headphones so that I don't create a horrible echo.
How are you with cats, Pierre?
I'm allergic to cats. How are you with
cats?
cats?
Did you take your
antihistamine? In preparation for the live stream.
Basically, yeah. So we have 15 cats here. I think it's 15. I might have said the number wrong. We don't count.
Fif-
I mean, you don't count the number
15.
of Pringles in a Pringle tube.
15.
Yeah, I used.
What?
Yeah, 15. Well, I could have said 50. It's the same thing once you get past 4.
Oh man. Is that expensive to feed them?
Yeah, it is. Hence why I like my patrons so very much.
Yeah. Is there a way that like, is there a kind of, you know how like, okay, so if you were feeding 15 people, right, it would be like
Yeah.
stew or like
Exactly, but they all eat the
pasta or
same.
something.
They all eat the same shit. So, well, they're
Yeah.
not exactly shit, but I wouldn't touch it myself. Or
And can you get some sort of different cat food in a big like a bag of soil from a B&Q, you know, just that size?
in a bag of soil.
No, like that, like a size of a bag of soil, like a 10-kilo bag.
Exactly. Yeah. So
There's
like,
no point. There's no point screwing around with tins if you're going to open 15 tins,
exactly.
right?
Yeah. Well, we do screw around with tins. In fact, Nina, the tea fairy is Nina's my partner. She's just out there at the minute, actually just opening a whole load of tins to keep them away from this room. She heard how allergic you were and is doing you a favor there. So we've got a whole load of people in the chat saying hi to you. Pierre, just a very quick introduction.
Hello.
Sort of the other way. You have a half Malaysian or a Malaysian British friend in Phil Wang, right?
I do, yes. Yeah.
I'm also half Malaysian, and you also grew up on the Isle of Man, right?
Yes.
And I'm literally on the Isle of Man now as well.
Are you? What?
Yeah, indeed. Yeah. So I've been on the Isle of Man now for 10 years. I sort of came the other way to you actually from London, well, from Farnborough, which is near London, all the way to the Isle of Man, just over 10 years ago.
That's crazy.
It's fun, right?
God.
So it was really fun hearing some of your stories in the book about car sickness and.
Oh wow! So now you're like the perfect intersection. That's insane.
It's a little bit weird, yeah. And I'm also sort of hearing about you, kind of like. Like slurping noodles, and it's like, oh my god.
Oh yeah.
My mum only eats hot food. Everything comes like hot and wet, and you have to slurp. Yeah, it's noisy. Malaysians eating, it's just the noisiest thing you've ever heard. Loads of food.
I don't think I can visit. But maybe if I was that outnumbered, I'd be like, this is just the universe you're in now, and I would be fine with it. There's a level of brutal acceptance, I think, that sorts it out. You know.
Exactly. One thing which you covered in your book, which we are going to have to touch on because I can see it constantly arriving in the chat, is your comment on eye contact at urinals, which I believe in context was eye contact at an interview is different to eye contact at a urinal.
Yes, and I stand by that.
Some people only heard the eye contact as urinal bit.
I stand by it. It's a controversial point of view, but I think they're different.
No, I think it's absolutely spot on, and especially about the cultural aspects that you talk about too, where you actually dive into it and explain how we have this sort of like Western kind of cultural view on something like eye contact, and although it isn't in the diagnostic criteria, it is sort of used as a quick sort of yardstick to go. Is like a litmus test. Are you autistic? Oh, not enough. You looked at me.
Yeah. Well, they'll file it under social communication diffifically as opposed to it being explicitly there. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You wouldn't want to go around Malaysia making eye contact with people. Especially like elders or just people on the streets.
Yeah.
Especially if you wanted to start a street fight or something.
Yeah. Okay. So that's interesting. It does change so much, over the world.
Another part that you talked about too, culturally, was British social culture and about learning the rules, which you described as, you did say actually, it might sound like somebody carefully explaining how to go for a shit. But you did go into some quite good detail about British sort of, our social expectations and social culture, which is interesting for me to see because my parents were in the military, so I was born in Germany, but you try and talk German in Germany and everyone talks English back at you. So I've just had a purely British existence. Whereas you're more of a man of the world. You've traveled a lot, not just for work, but from South Africa as well. And you sort of talk about the difference in culture between these places. And for those of us that don't travel so much, although you did mention not traveling on holiday, what do you think about because we talk a lot in our community about the the bias in the sort of autistic diagnostic criteria towards being white, male, sort of middle class, American, or maybe British, if you're sort of lucky. It's almost mirroring the little professors from sort of Asperger's Vienna clinic, and we seem to be missing a huge amount of women on the scale of 4 guys to one woman, and a lot of people from other ethnicities as well. You did talk in your book about how things might change in the future, but did you have any thoughts on how other cultures might change or start to understand autism better?
I think part of the issue, depending on where you are in the world, could simply be resources. I mean, if you're dealing with a country where the government is focusing primarily on something like tarmacking the road or giving everyone plumbing, then they're not gonna. We have to face the fact that they're probably not going to prioritize as a government anything to do with autism. They might let a charity do it, if some NGO wanted to come in, but broadly they're not really gonna be doing anything. In terms of other ethnicities within developed nations that have high healthcare spending, like Europe or North America, say, there's a lot of cultural mistrust in some communities towards psychology generally, and then there's the stigma once you get someone saying you've got something like autism. So it's all just comms, really. It will change gradually, just because, well, especially after 2013, when they folded Asperger's into autism, the visibility of autism is very high, and that will destigmatize it. It will re-stigmatize some aspects of it in some ways, and I go into that in the book, where the sort of rebranding of autism as part of Asperger's will confuse people to the point where they go, "Oh, I thought that was much more serious. Oh, apparently it's fine."
It has,
and there'll be
and
there'll be a new bias against people with high care needs or high support needs.
As there always,
and that's already started happening, apparently.
Historically, those with high care, high support needs and co-occurring intellectual disability, the so-called profound autism sort of community have always been on the sort of poor end of sort of culture. I mean, we only have to think about something like an asylum, and we think, right, okay, that's a setting for a horror movie, but it was actually people's lives for decades in developed nations. Developed nations. So there's always been this sort of like horrible stigma amongst the group that we share. I don't like the word comorbidity. It's a bit weird, isn't it? Comorbidity.
Apparently the new label is co-occurring.
Co-occurring, right?
Yeah, but then, like, I don't know. We'll see how long co-occurring lasts, and then.
Well, it doesn't have the word morbid in it.
Yeah.
It's like being morbidly obese. I can say this sort of formally as being sort of quite large myself. Being called morbidly obese, it's kind of a weird thing to say. It's like, morbidly?
Deadly.
Yeah. Another bit of your book. I'm sorry, I've got some notes down here, which I'm like, must put some of this to Pierre. I'm so sorry. You can't see it, but it's like it's on my iPad.
I thought he was on paper. I'm in the Stone Age.
Oh man! I mean, like I've gotten so many copies of your book. I need shares. Like, I've got, obviously this is the giveaway. I need to buy the hard books to give away. I use my Kindle and then Audible as well. I had to listen to your tones talking to me as I'm driving back from Tesco's.
Great.
And it's great. The audiobook's fantastic. And for those that don't know, there's bonus content in your audiobook.
There is indeed. Yeah, me and Phil have a little interview, and there's an extra chapter on a sort of social rule-breaking misophonia incident in a play in a theatre.
Your misophonia. I need to take a quick sip of tea away from the microphone.
Hey, if it's a quiet sip, then
well,
it's
I don't know.
It's a dying skill.
I'm beginning to wonder if it's after listening to you and Phil Wang talking. I'm beginning to wonder: is this like a Malaysian thing, or is it? Because I also suffer. Well, I'd say from suffer. It's not really my problem, but it's sort of like this intense rage at the sound of people eating. I'm with you on the sound of cutlery touching enamel, which is reminiscent of a dentist visit, but without making everyone want to leave right now. I'm just saying, like, I am actually the worst at that too. I am a really noisy eater. I'm the soup guzzler and the drinker of the final bit of milkshake.
Do you get annoyed at yourself when you
No,
hear yourself
not at
doing it?
all. No, not at all. Like we don't hear
Interesting.
ourselves, do we? It's like we don't
I hear
any
myself.
sound, do we?
I hear myself.
You hear yourself.
Oh, and I get annoyed at myself. Yeah.
Do you really? That must
Yeah,
be...
I genuinely do. Yeah. Yeah, that's mad.
Yeah, because like yeah, the noise. You nearly made me wet myself at this in chapter 8. Well, it's Audible chapter 8, which I think differs to your normal chapters. But you talk you talk about misophonia as some sort of thing that's passed on from people's parents to their children, like a slurpy Dracula.
Slurpy Dracula. Yes, that's right. That's right. I got the cutlery teeth thing from my mum, and I got the chewing thing from both, but probably more from my dad. Yeah. And then once someone says that, you go. Not only do I agree, that's in my head forever now.
Yeah, I mean,
it's contagious.
I just think like moving to the Isle of Man, right? I thought that was good, nice place to kind of like move away from London, opposite direction to you. Possibly around the same sort of time as well, but like crossing planes. But over here, you can sort of go to a restaurant. There's hardly anyone else in it. You wonder how the business is still going, but then you can hear somebody eating. You can just sort of hear them eating. It's the same. It's the same sort of iration as like somebody eating like really loud crisps.
Oh man!
At a cinema,
Yeah, there was a guy slurping a hot coffee in the cinema yesterday, and I just, come on, man, just wait 2 seconds.
Fortunately, our local cinema, the floors are so sticky, and the sort of like the seats are quite sort of old, but that just puts me off going. So
yeah, I remember that cinema, and it's not great.
It's the same. It hasn't changed, Pierre. I'm sure everything is exactly how you left it here.
I can believe that. Yeah,
the other
I
man's
can
not
definitely.
changed. The other man's not changed a long time.
It was a bit like moving to the early 1960s England in the 90s when we moved, but
it's very white.
Oh sure, but that's the UK. The UK is very white.
Oh, the Isle of Man's even more white. Like
oh yeah. But I mean, there's places as white in England that have a Thai restaurant and a cafe.
Oh wow! Okay.
Whereas when we moved, there was like no chains. Like a McDonald's had just opened. You could get coffee in like I think there was a Costa coffee, maybe or not yet. There was like a greasy spoon. We have a few
Costas now. We have a Starbucks, 2 Starbuckses, a KFC.
Yeah, I mean that just blows my mind. Yeah, I grew up without chains, like in some sort of alternate universe.
I can tell you something else that might sort of slightly blow your mind too, and that is that I heard of you first after you published your book. In fact, when it was in the pre-order stage, a good friend of mine that we get together and we spend, I shit you not, we spend like 12 hours at a time talking about infrastructure and electric vehicle charging. You know who you are in the audience. His name's Graham. He went to school with you and was in the Air Cadets, Graham Parker.
Yes. He was 2. Was he 2 years above me or 1 year above me? Maybe
no
2.
idea, but he's like a friend of mine from school did this, and I'm like, you're kidding me? It's another autistic comedian. Yes, please. So I pre-ordered that straight away.
Oh, great.
And, you know what? It didn't hit me until a few days ago that I thought, hang on. So if Graham from the island, he's not here anymore, he moved to Yorkshire, but like if Graham from the island went to school with Pierre, then that means Pierre grew up on the Isle of Man.
Yeah.
So, do you know what I mean? These things that sort of like might take like a few minutes to process, or a few hours, days, weeks, or even months.
Creating the links, yeah.
It's really quite. It's properly strange. But I got a lot out of your book because obviously a lot of your examples that you've used are kind of local ones. So you mentioned a petrol station. I immediately know which one you're talking about.
Oh man, the one in Peel, right?
You mentioned the bookshop. I'm like, I know that bookshop.
Oh man, yeah. Well, I've accidentally created you a custom book.
You have basically created me a custom book. Yeah. In fact, I was telling Nina about it. She's like, "What do you think of Pierre's book?" This isn't the first book club, online book club that we've done. But, so she'll say, hey, how is the book? What do you think? And I'm like, you will not believe it. This guy has literally written me a custom book. You've got no idea. His examples of his Malaysian British friend and his examples from Peel and Port Erin, I shit you not. And she's like, what? I'm like, yeah. I just,
Oh,
you know,
man.
these sort of, you know, Christmas gift for Manxies. I don't know.
Yeah, well, but you know, the examples will still work if you don't have anything to do with Malaysia or the Isle of Man.
Absolutely.
I'll
they
say
will.
I'll say that. Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I was just scrolling the chat. Chat's been very, very, very busy.
Oh yeah, I should look at the. Oh yes, here it is.
It's been very, very, very busy.
People
I
are
loved your section on
saying
school
that you're
uniform.
slim. Oh yeah, the scratchy uniforms and stuff. Oh
Oh,
man.
so cathartic to read, because it felt like it was just me when I was at school, with those horrible, horrible school uniforms. In fact, some kids would go. I don't know. It was Fruit of the Loom. I think they sold some really nice jumpers. So they're kind of like higher quality jumpers, and they
Yeah.
could kind of match your school uniform, but they were slightly off. The color was slightly off. And if the teachers found you with one of these sort of contraband jumpers, they'd make you sort of swap it for you know,
For a
like a
legit
lost and
one.
found box, scratchy piece of crap. Just awful. Honestly, you know, as if kids don't have enough to deal with at school, and they've got to add this extra thing on top. If you didn't have sensory issues, you had them by the time you left school, I reckon.
Yeah, and just the insistence on like, I mean, if the color matches or if it's got the badge on or whatever, what do you care, you know? I understand, like, okay, if there's a uniform, there's a uniform, but like, no one's noticing that it's a different one, or I don't know. Yeah, it's just
It's
it was
something else.
so uncomfortable,
I don't know
especially
if
the
the Americans
wrist
in the
bits.
audience get this, because they've not had the same experience, but it's definitely a thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, they'll have. Yeah, I guess you could dress more comfortably, but then there's the social aspect of like, well, why are you dressed like that? Like, then
Yeah,
it's
why
a
are you wearing
spy.
something different? Yeah.
Yeah, why are you dressed in the particular comfy clothes, or yeah, so then it spirals into a whole new issue. There's no escaping some sort of issue with it, unfortunately, I think.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
there really, really isn't. And the other thing in my notes, I have to put to you. It was just you put some stuff in there. This is all the stuff I found super relatable. Everybody, I don't know about you. I mean, we're supposed to be doing like this big hangout thing, but it's just turned into the Pierre Talking to Mike show. Is the conservation of energy? You know, the two
Yeah.
sort of approaches. Because my traditional approach prior to my autism diagnosis just 2 years ago was to I just do everything. I just work. I travel. I do the stuff. Come back, then just crash, and then just repeat, rinse, wash, repeat. And it was only after one of
Yes.
those that I pursued an assessment, because it's like this is not standard. This shouldn't be a problem for the quote unquote normal person. And you described it as sort of spaffing it up the wall, which has sort of like Boris Johnson kind of vibes. So you've got this
That's it.
idea of either
Yeah.
conserving your energy or just spaffing it up the wall, and it just made me laugh.
Well, and also like it's such an annoying. I mean, I'm well, I say I'm dealing with it at the moment. I'm dealing with it always forever. It's that thing of going, I have the energy to do the things I want to do, to live the life I want to, just about, but then I'll have no energy left. So the second anything unexpected happens, it's like always spending exactly the amount of money you have in your bank account every day. It's such a pain, and not be able to keep on top of all the spinning plates you want to. Yeah,
That's a
and it's
really
one of the
good
hardest things I
analogy.
think to explain. It's so hard to explain, but
Yeah, no, that's a really good analogy. I came across this concept of spoon theory years ago, and it didn't sort of resonate with me.
Yeah.
I never consider spoons. We have them; they're in a drawer. We don't count them. I don't know how many spoons we have, Pierre. I couldn't possibly tell you. We have more spoons than we would possibly need to invite everyone we knew. Do you know what I'm trying to say? We have a lot of spoons. It might just come from like running the dishwasher
It's one
infrequently. we
one
have a
per
lot of-
cat.
Exactly. Well, they have their own spoons, but like, you know,
Yeah.
we're not going to get too technical here unless we really want to get super autistic about it. But we yeah, we have these spoons. But anyway, some people suggested spell slots might be a better one, which is a good kind of video game sort of
Yes.
D&D analogy, because you can kind of like
Mana.
do something simple, but it costs more energy. Similar to your bank account
Yeah.
thing, but having to get all your shopping from the corner shop rather than Tesco's, you know.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, mana, or like, yes, energy, or yeah, the spoons thing is, yeah, it is. It's a harder thing to get a handle on, just because then it immediately devolves into talking about spending spoons, which of course you don't do.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but it's that thing of going. So at the moment, I'm on tour, and I'm also trying to do sort of email admin and also podcasts, and very busy, in other words. And if I try and add on to that, trying to control my diet and trying to exercise, it just something slips.
Hmm.
I only have so many hands.
Do you find
And
yourself consciously planning for that now?
yes, I definitely planned for it, but what I still can't plan for is the fact that like I just can't. I guess I'm trying to figure out exactly to what extent I can manage my diet when I'm like this. Because otherwise I'll just eat my reward or my energy. Like I can do loads of stuff that I shouldn't have the energy for if I overeat.
Hmm.
And the trouble with me under eating or just exercising and eating a normal amount of calories so I can lose weight is that I'm tired in the evenings, which would be fine if I had a 9 to 5, but I don't.
Yeah.
So
with
I
you.
have to have energy in the evening to be on stage.
Yeah.
So I can't come on stage like grouchy and hungry and be like, what the fuck do you people want?
Well, I
You have
suppose
to
you
be a
could. I
funny
mean, you do
guy.
the Edinburgh Fringe, so that's quite energy intensive, for sure. Simply because of how intense and long it is. Do you sort of
Yeah.
socialize there as well? Do you kind of, obviously meet friends and then also, and then
It's
another thing?
yeah. Well, it's easier socializing in the sense that you're sort of socializing all month with people who share your special interests.
Hmm.
And comedians are also like, I mean, I'm guessing here, but at least like 1 in 4 autistic, or like 3 in 4 ADHD. I mean, the amount of ADHD is seriously high in comedy and autism as well. So I don't know. Comedians have always been a bit easier to get. It's not quite the same as socializing with, say, randomly selected work colleagues. It's a bit more like socializing with special interest sharing other neurodivergent people. But even then, yeah,
Okay.
it does. It does. It's 26 days in a row, 27 days in a row. It does just get to the point where you go, I need to lie down in the dark and drink Nitol,
For a
just
week, just
pass out for
literally
12
just
hours.
medicate yourself. I mean,
Yeah.
when I'm traveling or if I've got intense work, I just sort of try and take the pressure off. As a very simple example, like tonight we just had beans on toast. like it's like,
Yeah.
all right, cool. All right, Mike's gonna do the Tuesday thing, so we'll just cook like just beans on toast. You know what I mean? Just kind of beans out the cupboard. A lot of people won't understand this in the chat, but in the UK, it's kind of like student food. It's kind of like cheap and no, it's not cheerful at all.
Yeah, a
It
grilled
sustains you.
the US equivalent would be what, like a grilled cheese or like a ramen or something.
A ramen sounds, yeah, that would be slightly more complex. So
No,
we
I mean
have
like a
that. But
packet. No, like US, like packet ramen.
oh,
Like
packet ramen. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Like
know.
that's
The
what the
corner shop,
students eat there.
the $1 ramen. Okay. The
Yeah.
ramen you can eat dry if you have to.
Yeah. I never knew that till I saw Squid Game.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, and the guy eats it dry in the parking lot, and I was like, oh
Yeah.
God, fuck!
Yeah,
Of
Koreans
course
eat
you
it
can.
dry. Koreans eat it
Yeah.
dry. It's really strange. I was at uni and we had some
But
Koreans there.
is it a thing?
Yeah, Koreans eat dry ramen.
No,
100%.
what?
100%. And I'm like, do you want, we could, there's a canteen with kettle and
Big dry
hot water.
biscuits.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. They just go straight for the dry ramen and just like a snack. I mean, some Brits will eat like dry cornflakes,
Yeah, but the cornflakes aren't supposed to be boiled. That feels
No, that's true.
different.
That feels wrong. That feels very
Yeah,
wrong.
gosh.
Yeah, that would be bad. I don't even think the chickens would eat that. That's something else.
Yeah, man. People are saying in the chat they like dry ramen. I did not know.
I didn't know all of you like dry ramen. $1 is
Yeah.
fancy ramen. $1 is fancy ramen.
Yeah, I think the cheap stuff's like 30 cents or something.
Oh,
maybe,
really?
or less. Yeah.
I'm gonna go get myself some. I'm gonna have to try it.
People are saying PB&J as well. Yeah, that makes sense because peanut butter and jam sandwiches are like insanely calorie dense, right? Like peanut
Have you had
butter is
one?
like
Have you tried it?
I grew up eating that. Yeah, I
Oh,
like
really?
it.
Is that South African thing?
A lot of South African culture for my generation is heavily Americanized, whereas for my dad's generation, it was if you're English speaking
Mhm.
as your first language, it was much more like traditional British.
Okay.
And then all the media that we got was just American, and South Africa is quite like an American-y place in the sense that it's like, oh, barbecue and cattle and steaks and pickup trucks and sports and hot weather and
Oh, okay. Like
big
Texas.
wide open spaces. Yeah, it's like Texas.
There's
That's
quite a community of people from South Africa on the Isle of Man.
yes.
So we have South African kind of products,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
another YouTuber. I don't know if you've ever seen any of her content. It's Meg from I'm Autistic Now What. She's South African as well, or was from South Africa.
Oh, no way.
And so she's like, right, Mike, you've got to come. You've got to try this stuff. So she got me onto like, you've got a very strange like fizzy pop drink in like a green can. I don't know what it is.
Cream soda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like a cream soda. It was like nice.
No,
Like
it's special.
You can get British cream soda that tastes like, it just tastes like
So weird
like cleaning
vanilla.
products. Yeah, and then the
Blue,
South African
yeah.
one was nice. Yeah, and also you got like jelly tots as well. They were delicious.
Yeah, it's the E numbers. They're not EU safe at all. They're just crazy
Yeah.
chemical bullets.
No, definitely like, oh, how do you get this through border control?
Yeah, and the blue one just tastes of blue. It
Tastes like blue. Yeah, it's great. It's brilliant. And the pink one tastes like, it's just delicious stuff. Yeah, I'm surprised it's not more mainstream.
It's just illegal to sell anyway with with
Yeah,
regulations.
they are suspiciously bright.
So bright. Oh,
They
man.
fluoresce under under a light. You did mention something here as well, which is kind of, again, I super related to it. That's why I made a note. Towards the end of your book, where you said that essentially, if you hadn't lived the life that you've had, you feel like it'd be a difficult problem for society to solve.
Yeah.
And I've not had that experience either as well. Occasionally people will tell me on YouTube, hey man, you're so lucky, got the computer science autism, and I'm ex-Microsoft, ex-NHS, ex-Defense, I've worked for GCHQ. I've had a fun career. I've enjoyed my work side of things, the travel not so much, but the work side of things I've really enjoyed. And at a really good time as well, like pre AI, when Windows was like such a cool product, and it was I think that the golden age of tech. And I kind of feel the same. It's like, well, what if I didn't have that? What if I was born 10 years earlier, or 10 years later or something? Maybe 10 years later would be better than 10 years earlier, but that's a strange kind of feeling to have. The feeling of, would I have been heading to the nearest monastery in the medieval times, or the gallows?
I think that's it. It would be the monastery, gallows, or I don't know. I mean, it's there's always a bit of there, but for the grace of God go I, sort of thing, like fate and all that.
Yeah.
And I just think, if I'd stayed as kind of baffled by rules and as misbehaving as I was in primary school, like if I'd never had, maybe I would have figured it out. But if I'd stayed like that, I would have just been like an easily bored maniac,
Yeah.
I would have found it so hard to stick to stuff if I hadn't learned early enough. I think, maybe not. I don't know, but it's worth considering.
I think it is. I think it comes down to the accommodations and environment. So this is my work environment. It's kind of like custom built, like for me and the way that I want to work and things. And we live away from folks. The Isle of Man's population density, by the way, is super low. For those that don't know, it's like it makes like a British town feel busy, which is nice, by the way, because you can kind of opt in and stuff. London is something else. I worked for Barclays in London, and you literally didn't if you changed floor, people didn't know you.
Oh wow! Bloody hell.
And you get onto the street and you feel completely anonymous. How does that feel?
Being anonymous,
as an autistic adult, how does it feel to be somewhere where you can be a bit anonymous? I think you can, right? London.
Yeah, you definitely can. It's nice. Yeah, I remember growing up on the Isle of Man, small community. I found the knowingness of everyone very stressful. Because there was never a sense of like, oh, I'll just go somewhere and be sort of on my own in a crowd, especially with like headphones on. It was always like, oh, I will bump into 17 people I know.
That's not an
But
exaggeration.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's not. But I like the anonymity of a big city. Yeah, with something like headphones. So,
Yeah, exactly.
and
With the
I'm lucky. I'm lucky because I do stand up as a job. I can avoid the commuter rush hours mostly, not always.
Mhm. I kind of
So
wanted to,
I'm lucky.
to kind of smoothly segue to it, so I'm glad you mentioned it. But there's parts about stand-up that seem to work quite well, since you're monologuing, you're presenting, you're doing this stage job. That's not the bit that I find difficult. It's everything that, I mean, looking from the outside in, it looks like a sort of hyper social, you know, particularly the sort of like not just the stuff that you're doing on stage. You know, clearly you've got sort of writing. There'll be people you work with. You know, outside of any sort of close friends or close colleagues. Then
Yeah.
there's the sort of like party scene, because obviously everyone that goes there, they're not like a bunch of autistic people necessarily. I mean, there will be some in the audience. There'll be Brits, just common or garden. You know, load of Brits, and then place them in there, and then you sort of entertain them. But how do you cope with the sort of ancillary stuff that comes? Because the ancillary stuff with my job is very quiet. The ancillary stuff for you is to be quite loud, right?
You'd be surprised. So it's something that is quite common in stand-up. If you talk to a stand-up and say, "Have you ever gone to do a gig in the evening?" Where it's like, so bearing in mind that in the UK stand-up scene, a normal paying gig is one where, let's say it's like three people doing 20 minutes and there's a host introducing each act.
Yeah.
So it's like opening act, interval, middle act, interval, headline act, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's three people backstage plus the MC backstage, maybe a tech guy, that's five people, if they don't just leave straight after their sets. And a lot of comedians, if you ask them, will say, when they arrive at the gig, aside from saying hello to everyone in the green room, the first time they talk to anyone is when they're on stage.
Oh, really?
So they haven't spoken to anyone all day.
Okay.
There was an Oxford analysis of extroverted versus introverted traits. Obviously, actors completely extroverted, and say like librarians or something very introverted.
Uh-huh.
Comedians scored the maximum score on both.
Okay.
Because your behavior is very extroverted, but the only reason you have an hour show if you're on tour is because you spent many more hours than that on your own writing it, and then just practicing it in an antisocial way where you show up at a theater, you say hello to the theater staff, you're on your own, not talking to anyone for 45 minutes before the show. You go out, you speak for an hour, ideally with no interruptions, and then you leave.
Describes this Marvel character. I don't know what we'd call it, like super librarian, whereby by day she's sort of quiet and studious and maybe emailing people about their overdue book fines.
Yeah.
And by night.
Yeah, this is a huge performer. But look, there are comedians who do go full into the party time thing. But like, even if you're not a sociable comedian, you can just do your 20 minutes and leave. It's fine.
Yeah.
Or even if you stay, you're talking to other people who are obsessed with your special interests. So it's very easy socializing. And it's all very sort of rote, and you know, it's you can just discuss the gig or what you've just done, or because by definition, the fact that you're involved in comedy, you're obsessed with it. So you can just get really into technical language about what jokes are working or not working, or so it really is a bit more on rails than just like being airdropped into this living room with strangers, you know.
Right. Okay. Because that's just that's like a really interesting that's a super interesting dichotomy. That's super strange. I usually, if I do public speaking, which is not meant as comedy, it usually ends up with people laughing because I've messed something up, you know.
Or just autistic honesty.
Event, and the host was supposed to introduce everyone, like it was actually on the script, it was on the itinerary, it was on the plan. Like, you know, the host does a brief intro, and then the host didn't do a brief intro, and I'm like, hi, I'm Mike. You know, so, you know, kind of like I mean, for me anyway, kind of just sort of break me down. You know, after I got back into the swing of things, it was fine. But it's that's a super interesting one where you kind of planned everything and then you sort of come out, deliver it, and then it's kind of quiet. It feels like it should be kind of noisy back there. I don't know why I get that vibe. Does anyone else in the chat get that vibe? Like, I can't imagine you, like, I watched some of your stuff on YouTube, and I can't imagine you walking off and then you just sort of sit down and get a cup of tea. I did. It doesn't.
That's often what's happening, or it depends. If the backstage is next to the stage, you have to be quiet while everyone else is on.
Yeah.
If it's further backstage in a different room, comedians will be talking and gossiping or discussing people they know, because it's not a big world either. So especially if you've done it for, let's say, 5 years, never mind, I've done it for 10 or 11. You know everyone generally, or you all know the same people. So it's also very just, hello again. Yeah. And well, I'd say you probably get laughs if you get laughs when you talk, because you're plain spoken in a way that neurotypicals just aren't, and they find that funny. I mean, I think that's one of the reasons why there are so many autistic comedians, because you grow up and you go, well, I just pointed out what was true, and everyone goes, yeah, but in a way that no one would have if you weren't here.
Exactly. Yeah, that's true. I've had a strange kind of a strange sort of existence where my GP on the Isle of Man. So on the Isle of Man, you can't get a public sector adult autism diagnosis. First of all, for the usual reasons. We've actually just done a consultation, and the government said we're aware that, just going off numbers, there must be 1,000 autistic people on the island.
Yes, yeah.
They're either getting sort of services or they're not. If they were diagnosed, they probably wouldn't be able to access services anyway. So you're on your own, guys. And it's an interesting take. But so I speak to my GP, who also happens to be a neighbour, because Isle of Man. He's like, but Mike, you've got a successful job, what do you want? What's the matter? And it's like, where'd you go from here? It's like, okay. And then I'm starting to explain things, and he's sort of got an answer for everything that I'm trying to explain. And, say, oh, but you're popular, you've got friends. And it's like, well, sort of. And, because they're sort of special interest friends, like my diving community group and the wildlife, all very, very, very much within a circle, if it wasn't the Isle of Man, they wouldn't know each other. They'd all be completely separate. You've got the board game group, and then there's all marine people as well. And there's always this sort of reason. But then when you end up sort of pursuing it, they go, oh, okay, and sort of accept it in the end. It's a weird one.
They have to be talked into it, because they've got this knee-jerk reflex that it's nice to talk people out of stuff.
Yes, that's true. And they also
it's
only
really odd.
Yeah, they also only have a few minutes. Like, I think it's 8 minutes per appointment. The other thing that you mentioned in your book, which I've not heard mentioned anywhere else, is this sort of act which you have to put on. So when you're explaining something clearly, with your words, you're formulating your opinion and you're sharing it with somebody, because you hadn't put the right sort of intonation on it or done the right face stance, I think you've described it as, then they don't sort of take it seriously enough. You have to, and I think, quoting you right, you have to, quote, lose your shit. Or they're only sort of you're only seeing the words in the right context when you're losing your shit.
Yeah, you have to use a big dramatic voice. I was explaining this to my girlfriend, where I was saying, if I say I'm tired, I mean I really fucking mean it. Like I'm tired. Like I'm not. I don't say things whimsically off the cuff. If I say I've got a headache, it's because it's a matter of serious concern. The headache. It's if I have a slight headache, I'll keep it to myself. I don't see the point in talking about it, because I think to myself, well, it's slight, so it'll go away soon, so I won't mention it. But only I know that I'm filtering it like that. So you feel like you should get some sort of credit for that, but they don't know that you're not, So you end up with this kind of...
I should be getting credit for it. Yeah, every single time. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, where's my credit?
And then also, with regard to sort of relationships and things, it can definitely cause issues. Your section of relationships has to be read or listened to by everybody.
Thank you.
No matter if you're a human being, you need to read it. It's the best written, best communicated sort of section on relationships, and goes to the heart of the difficulties. You mention, I'm not doing a service here by paraphrasing my thoughts of your book. People should read it themselves. But you talk about, if you're looking up sort of relationship problems or dramas with sort of like an autistic partner, it nearly is always sort of a heterosexual kind of like the girlfriend's writing about dating autistic men, and how do you with your autistic man, and it's the same as when you're looking for resources on autism as an adult, you're finding an awful lot of stuff about children. My psychiatrist said one of the tips, like one of the sort of like the passing kind of tips, here's your reading list, and the passing sort of goodbye now is avoid the online groups of adults of parents of autistic children.
Yes.
And it's like, wow, there's so much sort of noise kind of around this space, but nothing really written for humans who are either autistic or interfacing with autistic people.
Yeah, and adults. I mean, it's one of the reasons I wanted to write the book, is because there were sort of medical manuals intended for practitioners, and then there was like memoirs that were very interesting, and like Fern Brady's book is amazing, but it's not intended to be some sort of guide or something. So I just thought, well, if I could just do like a funny, just basics, just set it out, because one of the things that I still find is very difficult is it's very hard to explain this kind of stuff and to get the right words and things. So I thought if I could apply my comedy club translation brain, where I make things such that you can understand them even if you're pissed on a stag do, then if I could just phrase it correctly, people could just point to it instead of having to try and say it. They could just go, just fucking read this.
Yeah,
read this page.
Yeah, read that chapter. Like specifically. Because there's very little out there. It's something that I get asked a lot, and I'll be pointing a lot of people to your book on that basis, because it just doesn't really get talked about. Particularly relationship content, for sure.
Yes, definitely. And thank you, Helen, in the chat, who's said a nice thing about the book. That's very kind.
I really enjoyed the book. It was an excellent listen. I can accumulate all of the positives for you and send it to you in a card if you like.
Oh, great! Yeah, that'd be very kind.
There's been an awful lot of positive content. From when I mentioned your book, and the book is my introduction into your comedy. Also, like I said, it was a friend going, "Oh, I went to school with this guy," and I didn't really never processed in my brain, until recently.
That's it.
Why I keep asking you about.
Well, it's such a pleasure. I mean, it's such a nice coincidence as well. Dr. Harriet says Dr. Linda Buchan is a legend of an ally in the medical profession. Yes, she's the one who fact-checked the book. She's very nice. She's really nice, yeah. Lucy Bird, have you given your book to NT people who don't know much about autism, and did it help them understand? Yes. A couple of people, but more I can say. I've had lots of nice messages from people, and it's nice to go on tour because I could see them like after shows and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
And they'll come up to you and say, I or send you a message and say, I got the book because my son is autistic and he's 14, and I was trying to understand my son better. And,
amazing.
Yeah, a lot of stuff like that where you think, oh, this was a really worthwhile project to do, because I had no idea if it would work. I just tried to do it and see. But if you're a comedian, it's a lot easier because you can hear if your jokes work because people are laughing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Whereas with the book, it was just like a year of shitting myself, thinking,
how's this going to go down?
I don't know if this is going to work.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a good point actually. Like even a YouTube video, which takes sort of is about a week's lead time, you get a little bit of the heebie-jeebies, but not in terms of book time scale.
Still though,
live streams kind of, because you can sort of see these comments coming in, and it's like, oh, how's it going?
See, live stream I'm okay with because the gigs are live, but making a YouTube video, I'd find that tough. Yeah.
Does anybody want to drop a heckle in to diagnose Pierre with something? Because now's a really good time.
Yeah, add to the list.
How did you? So what's the logistics of that? So you had the heckle, the famous heckle. Did you seek him out afterwards? Did you go come here, you?
No, I sort of gave him a nod afterwards, and then I think just the next day I thought, okay, fine, I'll look at this again, and I'll see what, because I could cross-reference what he had seen me talk about with stuff to Google, right? So I could go, okay, he must have said this because of something I said. What was I saying? Let's see if this has any results. And I had looked it up before. I mean, even Fern, when she got diagnosed years ago, said to me, "Oh, I think you might be as well." And for some reason, I just thought, no, because I didn't know enough. But when I for whatever reason, this time when I Googled it, the resources were just much better. Or because Google seems to be dying, I just went straight on Reddit as well and found some personal accounts where you go. It was much more like, in the words of another autistic adult, rather than like, some sort of badly phrased medical textbook thing from the 90s that wasn't even intended for us. So yeah, there was more stuff that where I thought, oh shit, okay, this could be the real deal. Yeah,
there could be something here. The start.
Yeah.
Start of the breadcrumbs. I also had people suggest I was autistic in the past, usually at work events and things. And I just think it's just like part of British banter almost. They could have been saying something about my shoes, in the same kind of energy. I don't know that it would have registered. But afterwards, I've had some friends. I met up with one friend who had a recent ADHD diagnosis, and she said, "Now we fucking know what's wrong with you then." which between on paper doesn't read very well, but it's fine. It's yeah, it's just that thing about the words in the context. TJ said literally every autistic theatre kid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely certain categories that we tend to drift into. That's for sure.
Diolch, Beth. Diolch yn fawr. If that's the right Welsh. I don't speak any Welsh apart from that, and I mean the word rugby is the same. I also like the website embrace-autism.com was very useful for that, because it has all the tests on there, and you can just fill them in and fiddle around with them and read little write-ups about what the tests are supposed to do.
That look like they belong on a children's hospital. Yeah.
Yes. They're unfortunate. They're pleasingly geometric, but that's the most I have patience for them, really. But
the Embrace
it's a good website.
One I use quite often in my content. They do reference stuff really, really well, and it was one of the first websites I hit up as well. Because it's like, right, I've got 10 minutes. Let's have a look. What's this? Would you rather go to Pierre, would you rather go to a museum or what is it? The other option, a theatre. Is your other option? Would you like to go to a museam or a theatre?
Well, it depends if I'm working at the theatre.
You're one of the only people to be able to say so.
Yeah, if I'm the one on stage, I'll go there because I could make some money. Whereas the museum, it depends. Yeah. I some of the older theatres in London, I really have to wedge my ass into the little chair. It's
Have you performed on the Isle of Man? We've got a beautiful theatre here.
Yes. But I haven't performed at the Gaiety. I've performed at the Villa Marina.
Yeah, which is probably a better venue, but the Gaiety is beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Amber. I'm trying to take all my averages of my results. Yes, that should have been my automatic autism diagnosis.
Yeah, and then asking other people and sending the links to other people as well, and seeing what they came back with. Yeah, that's a really good one too. I've noticed people that I enjoy associating with come back with higher scores than those I don't.
That's it. Yeah.
That's I think that's a fair sort of like assessment there. A fair anecdote to sort of identify friends by their high AQ scores, the high RADS scores.
Yeah.
Maybe we should go on a dating profile. Maybe dating profile should have, what's your AQ 50 score?
Yeah. What's your RADS R?
What's your CAT-Q?
Yeah.
That'd be really useful, actually. Yeah, someone should invent that. I'm glad I found Embrace before I saw the Speaks site. Yeah, I speak about Autism Speaks quite often. Not much of a fan. So it seems very sort of, we've got sort of like an American kind of like a autism culture, and then a British one as well. And I find a lot of the kind of the multi-billion-dollar sort of ABA, compliance-based ABA industry in the US doesn't sort of make its way to the UK so much. A little, but it's not such a big thing in the UK.
Yes, yeah, it seems to be a different culture to the whole thing, and you're going to find that country by country as well. Really, even if they speak the same language, it's like
in France, quite a few folks who are French messaged me to say that there's literally nothing. The French healthcare services almost, I don't want to use the words don't recognize autism, but that's the feeling.
Yeah,
the vibe.
it does feel like there's going to be such a barrier. There's this completely false idea that like, oh well, Europe, and it's like no, it's so much of healthcare is cultural. It
is completely cultural. Yeah.
Yeah.
So much of it, and access to it. And I was lucky enough to go private, and there's still waiting lists. But
oh yeah.
I did feel bad for a while. I felt a bit like Schrodinger's autistic. Am I or am I not? But then also I'm kind of like taking a seat from someone else. It kind of did feel a little bit cheeky. But that still had a 6-month waiting list.
Yeah. It's the lack of provision is mad. I don't know how you fix it really. I mean, the only thing you can do is if you can go on something like the Embrace Autism website and get a decent enough level of confidence in yourself, then there's nothing to stop you from doing all the reading you would have done anyway. Because that's the difference, is that if, unlike say with ADHD, there is no medication option, so the reading is all that you are going to be able to do anyway. You'll miss out on the legal rights to accommodations, but then that already there are lots of people don't disclose to their workplace because of worries about that. But the one thing in a way that is not like nice, but the more and more of this stuff is out there, and it's almost all open access. You don't have to go get it from some sort of special person, or you can just listen to a podcast or watch this live stream or read the articles or go on Reddit, or you can learn stuff about yourself.
And I'm kind of like sort of by proxy, super proud of the autism community, like writ large, royal we kind of thing, the big, being generally very, very accepting of people, trying to find resources and self-identifying and that sort of thing, with a view and to finding say for example, an assessment. It's quite an accepting kind of helpful signposting community. Generally wherever you'll find it, whichever sort of social media service you use, if you're looking for sort of autistic adults, you'll find them, and they'll be incredibly helpful. I think that's absolutely fair to say. Really, really helpful, and it helps that there's books. This goes on the reading list, by the way. I point that out.
Oh, great!
This is very much like reading list. Specifically for like what Fern says here on the front. Outstanding. I want to press it into the hands of every newly diagnosed person. Yeah, completely agree. Not just every newly diagnosed person, actually. I'm going to make Nina read it first, and then I'll post it out.
Thank you.
Yeah, read this. Read the relationship bit.
Read the relationship bit.
I don't want to act losing my shit.
Yeah. Could I perhaps have a sort of a flag that if I wave the flag, then a red card. If I hold it up, then that I'm internally losing my shit, and I don't have to do this big dance.
I don't want to act losing my shit, because you won't believe me, because it will be terrible losing my shit.
Yeah, or maybe there's like a sort of teapot that you could sort of ceremonially smash.
That sounds great. Some
like
puzzle piece teapots. They need to go in the
yeah. That's
every single time. There's with enough money in it for like a really nice takeaway.
Even before I knew that I was autistic, with my ex-girlfriend, she would always be worried that I wasn't enjoying whatever was going on, because she couldn't tell. And even before diagnosis, I remember joking with her that I should buy a gun. I should buy a gun, and I would call it my enjoyment gun. And for as long as I was enjoying something, I would fire my gun into the air, and then she could be sure. Is he enjoying this movie? Yes, he's continuously firing his enjoyment gun.
Yeah. It's got sound, or shooting the gun. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. I thought we were going in another direction for a second.
No, just like Yosemite Sam, just firing my enjoyment guns into the sky. Yeah.
Fire enjoyment guns.
Yeah.
That's a much better way to put it, because you talk about it in here as well, and I'm literally picturing my own sort of situation and my own family and my own sort of extended family events and that sort of thing. When you're literally talking about, you kind of like a go to, say for example, a dinner or something, and people have got their pre-established kind of conversations, and if you join in with those conversations, yet they kind of have to explain stuff to you like you're a noob.
Yes.
like, you weren't here for season 1, so got to kind of like, it was always, I've always found that quite sort of difficult as well, and sort of extended
Oh,
family, especially with like new
it's
relationships, and then people have to then explain stuff to you to kind of like bring you up to speed, and then you feel like, they'd be having a much better time if I wasn't here. And
yeah.
so
Or they explain too much, and you just think. Sometimes I want to say to people, I would rather just try and piece it together like a
yeah,
detective and who's overhearing this, rather than all these asides. If I don't understand, I'll ask. Maybe let's go for that as a rule, because otherwise it's going to be like a kind
that's what
of
I do. Yeah, don't worry about me. If I'm super confused, I'll ask. If I'm mildly confused, I
yeah,
won't. Be all right.
yeah. Maybe that's
What
the way to
do
go.
what do people? So, like, life as a comedian, you often talk about things, and you've opened up relationship stuff here. Now, Nina, who works in services for adults with learning disabilities, doesn't really appear on my channel that much. She's kind of an invisible hand of tea, so
Mm.
that's kind of a bit of an in joke, is that she's actually a fairy and not a real person. She sort of invisibly sort of passes me tea and things. And she has been involved in the content, because obviously, I do talk about it. But for example, my son, I don't tend to talk about too much, because he's a teenager and kind of wants some privacy, and this is very uncool. So dad doing YouTube is very uncool.
Yeah.
So how do you kind of manage sort of whether or not something will appear in content? Because folks will sort of say to me, now there'll be like an embarrassing family thing, and they'll be like, oh, please don't put it on YouTube. Please don't put me on stage, Pierre. That sort of thing.
Whenever someone says don't put this on stage, it's never something that I was going to.
Because it was just not funny, right?
Well, yeah, or just like it would require so much context that they don't know, because they don't do the job, so they don't understand. But yeah, I don't know. I sort of will. I'll warn people if I'm doing it or something. I mean, I said to my girlfriend for my most recent show, I said, oh, I mentioned that you say this or whatever, and I guess it depends, because there's some stuff. I'm quite protective of my family as well. There's a lot of comedians who they have this relationship with their family. I would say probably most comedians actually have this quite fast and loose relationship with like their parents, or they'll be like, oh, my dad, fucker, he's like this, and my mom, oh my god, and I just can't really do that for some reason. Because there's nothing about them. I think me and my family are normal, and everyone else is insane. It's outwardly directed.
Yeah,
I think.
fair enough. It's the same about
Whereas,
autistic, right? Like my dad, like if my dad was here, he's very sociable. He was in the army and loved the rules, hence your cadet the stuff. I'm like, yeah, army's great for like, in some respects, the military works quite well for autistic people. Although it's a bit of a don't ask, don't tell situation in the US at the minute. But I forgot what I was going to say now. Sorry. Oh, that's right. About
the privacy of like not making fun of your parents, whereas
the parent thing, and it's I don't know. I just wonder what your opinion on it was, because I do sort of, you get a lot of comedians, and they obviously, it's observational comedy. They'll use situations that are equal to or very similar to real life, and it's similar on YouTube in that respect as well. So I try to get sort of permission, or I let people know, hey, if you're wondering if this story is you, it is. But I'm not, we're not going to mention it, and all names and situations have been changed. But it basically,
well, that's it. I mean, like, it's the trouble is that I find my family very very reasonable. I don't think anything they do is particularly funny.
But then also because you're sort of used to it as well. Oh, that was right.
Yeah.
My dad will stare at people. He always used to make me really sort of nervous, because he'd be staring at me. He just won't blink, and he'll sort of stare at you, and you have to sort of remind him to, hi, just blink now. He's like, all right, yeah, cool. And then just do it again. And
yeah.
It's like, okay, well, there's the eye contact thing. I'm kind of the opposite of him in that respect. But you do not realize that stuff is different,
Yeah,
it's why adults get pursue diagnoses when their kids get diagnosed.
Yes, that's it. They didn't realize. Yeah, I also just think, like, I talk about my own life, or things that are happening for me, but never really about anyone in my private life. I also partly feel like I partly feel like I give so much to comedy anyway that I'm allowed to keep some stuff for myself. You know, you
Yeah.
don't want to get to the point where you go, okay, let's say you write a good show that has lots of private stories in it. Then what are you going to do when you run out of private stories? Are you going to be trying to milk your own family for content?
Yeah, basically.
You know, that way madness lies. That way madness
Well,
lies.
that way,
you know?
Taylor Swift's all over that, right?
Yeah, exactly. Or those
It works.
those YouTubers who are like constantly pranking their own children on camera.
Yeah, yeah. No,
You just think
definitely.
you just think they're going to turn 18 and they're going to fucking kill you, man. They're
I
going
feel that way
they're going to go
100%.
crazy. Yeah.
100% about the parents with filming sort of children having meltdowns. If you ever use Facebook to do any sort of research or learn about autism, you'll come across a lot of they're obviously desperate parents who don't know what they're doing, I guess, and they'll post videos of their kids, worst moments, and after watching some of those, I there's not much that makes me feel sort of uncomfortable, really, like that. If it's watching content, like you can turn it off. But some of this stuff, you just sort of watch it a bit like a slow motion train crash, and it's like, why have you posted that? Like,
Yeah,
they're starting to
get sued as well now, though, because in the US they've got all those laws to protect child actors and protect their share of the profits.
Okay.
And there was some recent case where someone had been turned into like kid content, and when they turned 18, they sued for their share of the profits, to which they are entitled. I mean, you can't.
Yeah, fair enough.
You can't do that and make money without that. So we're probably at the start of a sort of avalanche. Every year there'll be another couple of cases like that, I bet, or
and then
some
more
sort of
and more
civil
and more
suit.
things will move on.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
because we've gone past the Wild West stage, I think, or it's ending.
It does.
The
Yeah,
Wild West stage of the internet.
It feels a bit Wild Westy in places. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But especially when kids are involved. Once it's out on the internet, it's there. It's there forever. So.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Layla P, that's tough about your kid. I got hit a lot at school when I was 10, so it can improve. But I also, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, how big were you when you were at school compared to the other kids? You were quite large, right?
I was sort of one of the kind of 7 taller than everyone else boys till I was 13 or 14, and then I was the tallest.
Okay.
So I was like one of the kind of generally more like, because no one really grows that differently till they're 12 or 13 anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, true.
So I was sort of bigger, but not like insanely bigger. Maybe but then I was after that. Yeah, people will start fights with you just because you're tall when you're 15.
That's true. Yeah. Any difference gets kind of spotted out and kind of attacked. I've got like big ears, and so people would take the mickey, but I didn't feel too sort of insensitive, so I didn't mind. It's like, okay, bully me for that, then that's okay. Like, you don't go after the odd stuff that I'm less secure about, sort of thing.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So it's a case of just getting by. In terms of schooling, you went to a fairly decent school, right? Looks like Hogwarts.
Yes. Yes, not as turrety. Lego. It looks like maybe not Lego Hogwarts, because that is turrety, isn't it? I've seen that.
Yeah, it's very turrety.
Yeah, brutalist Hogwarts kind of combo, maybe square, a bit more square. Yeah.
A brutalist Hogwarts. I went to a Roman Catholic school. In Farnham. Yeah. Well, I mean, it wasn't sort of it was overly religious. We had to go to mass and things, but it was really well funded. It was incredibly wealthy, because it was, at the time, it was state funded, but it was also funded from the Roman Catholic Church. And as anyone who knows anything about Roman Catholic churches, they have a lot of gold bars scribbled away in various kind of old buildings. So that, we had like heated swimming pools and tennis courts and things. It was a really, really good school. Thank you, everyone who's paid into the Roman Catholic Church at some point in the 80s. That's where the money went. I mean, it went on big marble palaces, but also on our school.
Yeah, it's. I think. I think even at I dread to think what it would have been like if I was at a bad school. I was at a good school, although I think the smallness of it was bad. I think if I'd been at a larger school, I could have just hidden in
Yeah,
the kind of general shoal of humanity, whereas I was in a school where it was 40 to 50 people a year.
yeah, that's really, really, really bad. Mine was hundreds. It was a massive, like a big shoal, like you say. And the
That
years
must
were
have been
not.
pretty good, yeah.
That was great. That was
Yeah.
amazing. And the school building was huge and big and sprawly. So there were tons of places to hide. You could just keep on the move at break times and things. I spent a lot of time hiding in the toilets. Because like it was a weird kind of sort of policing of schools. There's an author called Pete Warmby who wrote a book called Untypical. It's a
Yes.
fantastic book. Pete is an ex or former secondary school, high school teacher, and he'd describe how teachers would be, tasked with break time duties, trying to root out kids looking for quiet places to be. You always you had to be on the playground playing football. Like that is the thing you had to do.
Oh
Anyone
God.
trying to do something else or not involved in a sport, the library was closed, that sort of thing, because you can't sort of hide away. That was sort of not seen as a good thing because you're indoors all day. So get out, kids.
That's bizarre.
So yeah, it's fairly common for the schools in the area. I think. I don't think it was just that school. Like it was kind of the culture, I guess, Southeast England at the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of perverse, not providing places for kids. I think things have improved now. A few people in the community have explained that their kids at school now have things like hall passes so they can use the loos whenever they need to. Great for that interoceptive hyper awareness. Or
Yes, that's it.
fidgets are kind of seen a bit better now for people that use them and need them. And quiet rooms too. So not necessarily having to get lunch at a really busy kind of counter with 1,000 other kids at the same hour.
Yeah,
Things
I
have
hate
improved
that.
in places, but not everywhere.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think if I had any kind of special accommodations, I would prefer to have them in a big enough school that I'm sort of lost in the great wash
Yeah,
of humanity. At least there's a bigger group of other people with special accommodations. Whereas if I'd had that when I was at school, I would have been the only one. Very noticeable in a group of 40. Yeah, I don't know. There's pluses and minuses to every model. Yeah.
I made a video a couple of weeks ago about a school in Stockport, which is northwest England near Manchester, and they were forcing children who were autistic to wear the sunflower lanyard to identify themselves during school
Yeah.
as part of uniform policy. They've since reverted that decision. I'm literally working on the video. I upload it at within a few hours of them having reversed the decision. It's like, oh, come on, guys. This was news. It's not news anymore. What's going on?
Oh man. Yeah. Well, you've got to do an addendum now, I guess.
Yeah, I know. Yes, I guess so. More work, but I guess if it's a bigger school, like you say, you can kind of like you say get lost in the wash. But I wouldn't have wanted to identify myself or stand out in any way.
Well, that's it. Yeah. That's the other drawback of like one or the other. Yeah. Look, I'm sorry to have to miss the giveaway. I've got to shoot.
Not at
I've
all.
got to
Yeah,
flee the
thank you.
stream. You've got such a nice community on here. I've really enjoyed reading the messages in the chat.
Everyone's like super behaved as well. Isn't that great?
That is good. Yeah. Yeah. Very best behavior.
The school chat did get a little bit lively. I can see a lot of experiences being shared in the chat there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Community here is absolutely fantastic. And thank you so much for coming on. I know how busy you are.
It's my pleasure. It's been a real pleasure.
No,
Thank you very much for having me.
A massive, huge pleasure. It's been fun to reminisce and do some sort of Isle of Man reminiscing as well. There's a lot of people saying thank you. Yeah, so thank you very much.
Great.
And there's been quite a few book sales as well, so hopefully that helps. Is there anything you want to promote, by the way, Pierre?
Huh?
Is there anything you want to promote? You said you're on tour.
Just that book, I guess. I'm on tour, but only for like 3 more gigs. So if anyone lives in Exeter, Reading, or Sheffield. But then aside from that, I'll be doing a bunch more gigs next year. Instagram, socials. I always update my website with my gigs, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, other than that, the book, I guess, is the most relevant thing for there you go. Look.
Fantastic.
And my sister designed the cover as well.
It's great.
Designed the image.
It's beautiful. It super stands out. Oh, what's the thing you're holding, by the way? It's a cake, right? Is it?
I think it's a Sainsbury's Colin caterpillar knockoff.
It's the Colin.
I've ripped its face off and I'm staring at it.
I see that. Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you very much for having me, and I'll see you soon. I'll come back on whenever. I'll come say hi.
I'll definitely take you up on that, Pierre. Thank you so much for being here.
Sounds good. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much. That was Pierre, everybody. Isn't he cool? Isn't he cool? Everyone's saying thank you. I'm not sure he's going to be able to see that now. But if you posted thank you while he was on, he probably saw it. Thank you all for coming. We are going to do the draw. The way we're going to do it, I'm going to do a screen share. You're going to pop your name in the chat at a prescribed time. Don't do it right this second because I'm not quite ready right this second. We'll do a 2-minute break first. Then we'll put all of your names into a prize draw kind of website thing to pick someone up. It depends how many people do it. If it's not that many people, I could write your names on paper, but I don't want to be and then pull you out of a tin. Maybe we can do the pet tin. Yeah, let's do the pet tin. Thanks for looking at that, Mike. No, totally welcome, Scott. Thank you for being here. I told you season 2 would be better. So, right? Because people are like, where's Tea and Tails? Where's Tea and Tails? I should send Pierre a Tea and Tails mug. Actually, I will send him a Tea and Tails mug. Just to thank him for coming on. I'll get the Audible book. I have 4 unused credits. Definitely, I've listened to it on Audible. The good thing about Audible is you can listen to stuff faster as well. I listened to Pierre's book at 1.2 times speed, but I also read it on my Kindle. This is what I used to read my books. I actually use the Kindle the Kindle app most of the time. But yeah, there you go. Why can't I just enjoy it? I missed it. There you go. It's right here. Why can't I just enjoy things? And Audible as well. Well, the fun with Kindle is it's so slow, but it's great to read from. So anyway. What a lovely guy Pierre is. Yeah, Pierre is fantastic. And the book is actually legitimately, I'm not just saying it, this book is, I'm sorry, Dr. Devon Price, this book is now my current number 1. Mostly because if you want a book on autism, like worldwide kind of culture, a good sort of overview, particularly with focus on trans community, Dr. Devon Price's book is fantastic. But if you want a book about late identified autism, is this one? It's very, 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 very good. There's a lot to love in this book. It's fantastic. This is probably the number 1 book. Fern Brady's book is very, very good. And that's not a but. It's actually very, very, very good. But this is more of a guide, like blended in. No, Dr. Devon Price. But yeah, this is very, very good. Oh, he went to Cambridge University. We forgot to talk about that. So we have a lot to talk about. So we're going to do a 2-minute break. Adverts might play. It's an opportunity to refresh your tea, because I now need another cup of tea. And we will come back and we will do a prize draw. Anyone in the world with a postal address can enter. The book will be signed by Hydra, probably. One of the cats will sign it. And someone will get this book for free. This hard copy book of Why Can't I Just Enjoy Things, which is mega. So 2-minute break, and then I'll see you in 2 minutes.
Appalachian sunrise meets my skin. Even with my eyes still closed, I can feel it coming in. Golden, golden, I'll follow only golden, golden, golden things. Mountain laurel high fives for miles in spring. Rainbow trout and a hummingbird wing. Golden, I'll follow only golden, golden, golden things. Walk up the river by my son. Feet step over splinters of the moon.
I don't know if I'm here within 2 minutes or not. Did I make it in time? We're not another 2 minutes, are we? I'm just getting everything ready.
I follow the golden, golden things. Gold birds, gold string, gold words, gold anything, golden. I follow only golden.
Did 2 minutes happen already? I'm very sorry, everyone. If you're waiting here longer than 2 minutes. Was I late? I was just chatting with Nina, the Tea Fairy. Right, we are going to do the draw for this book. What I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to watch the chat. Could you just please type your name into the chat? I'm going to write it down on paper. And then we'll pop it into this pet tin. And we will draw you from the tin. Would you like to be in the draw? Mention your name, please. Hele is on the list. Who else is on the list? Stephanie, OS, General Otter. And then, okay, oh, wow, this chat's really fast. This is going to take me a little while. I'm working my way down it. Shoik, La. Hyde, Snooker. And then we've got Vicky. I'm going to put the H on the end as well in case we have duplicates. Lucy Bird. We've got you down there as well. And then Elemental. Cool name, by the way. Sheska. All of you people. Thomas Gallagher. All right, Thomas G. Thomas G. And then Toffel. I'll put some music on. Okay. Natalie. Let's use a fresh sheet of paper. Natalie. Amanda. Amanda S. Chloe J. Ty W. And then we have Harriet W. Cool. I will de-dupe in case I've got dupes. I don't have any dupes. You've all been very, very good. Thank you very much. Eberry, TJ Zamboni. In your best writing, Mike. I'll show you my writing in a moment. 1 second. 112 names. Pound Shop Janeway. And then we have said Ray Peterson. I'm going to need more food. I'm going to need more sheets of paper. Caitlin L. Okay, I'm going to go get another sheets of paper. Hang on. Dandori Jason. If you win, anybody, what I will do is I will give you, I don't know, like a few minutes to confirm. This lucky whale, Anna. I'm going to write Anna Whale. Ashley Ann. And then Anki. I'm beginning to wonder if this was a bad idea and I should have all given you a website to type your name into. Helen and Asthea. Nom Nom. It's really annoying. I'm writing all these out and we've got like I'm writing out a lot of names. Native Flitwick. Eunice. John B. Vicky, I think I've got Vicky H already. Jenny K. I do like my lists. Mink Wells. Yeah, usernames are working out slightly better than actual names. Storm. Brees. Jeff J, I think I have you, Jeff J. I do not. It's P1. Jeff J. Do you know what? I lit candles for him as well. Scott R. Juju. Anna Bree. I think next time we do this, I'll just get everyone to type it into our website. I'll find a link. Anna. Bree. Beth G. Plutonium Lolly. Anne Marie, cool. Taylor, Shalom 12. Shalom 12. Heidi Bowman. Red Jen. Oh, it was Ashley and I'd got before. Right, Red Jen here. Kill. Catherine Raven. The other TJ. Rodrigo. I missed down at the top. GG. All right, okay, I'm still with you. I'm still typing. Right, look what we got. Look at this. This is all of your, nearly all of your names. I'm going to continue for a short while, and then we need to cut them out. More paper. The previous draws weren't this popular. What's going on? So where were we at? Red Jen, Catherine, the other TJ, Rodrigo, Layla. But which Layla? It's Layla P. And then Candice. Candice, and I'm going to write recovering. Recovering. Cathal. Hex. Come for the autism. Stay for the admin. Tales of Light. Robotron Richard. Natalie O, I think I might have you already. Thank you all for just putting your names in once. I haven't. Natalie O. And Ari. Ari the bird. Juju, I have. Thank you. Andrew D. Sorry, everyone, just wait. Because I will read you out again. I'll read you out again in a moment. Esmeralda. Right. Harriet is not missed. Harriet is on there. Okay, Harriet's been missed. I'll put Harriet on there. Okay, hang on 1 second. Harriet W. My handwriting is getting progressively worse. Make sure I have all messages turned on. They are indeed. Shalom 12. Okay, here we go. Yes, the audiobook for his book actually does have extras. One of them is a retelling of one of his comedy gigs, as in like it's very similar to a YouTube video of the same name of Why Can't I Just Enjoy Things? And there's also extra at the end, which is like a podcast with Phil Wang. Dandori. Yona. Okay, okay. Storm Breeze has not been forgotten. Storm Breeze is definitely on there. Yep, no, you're there. You Storm Breeze, you're on there. Esmeralda's also on there. Right, what I'm going to do very quickly. Anne-Marie's not been missed. Right, I'm skipping. Right, I'm at the very bottom. I'm a software engineer. Give me paper. Yeah, exactly. Well, I didn't realise this would happen. I didn't realise it would be like. I didn't realise it would make me wear out a pencil lead. I'd have to look like a newsreader. Right, what I'm going to do very quickly. No, it's okay. I will read everyone's name, and if I've missed you, let me know. We'll then chat amongst ourselves while we cut everything out, and then we'll do a drum roll, and we'll draw something from the captain. Okay. I've got Hele. I've got Stephanie O, General Otter, Scheukler, Hyde Schnucker, Vicky H, Lucy Bird, Ellie Mental, Sheska, Thomas G, and Toffel. I've got Natalie, Amanda S, Chloe J, Ty W, as in TYW, Harriet W, E Berry, TJ, Zamboni, Pound Shop Janeway, Ray Peterson, and Caitlin L. This is why it's hard for me. This is my handwriting. You're welcome. Layla P, Candice, recovering. Cathal Hex, CAT, Capital Hex. Who the heck is that? Who's that? Who's? Sorry, I've written that. We'll find you. We'll find you. Tales of Light, Robotron Richard, Natalie O, Ari, Esmeralda, Harriet W, and Shalom 12. Anna Bray, Bree, Beth G, Plutonium Lolly, Anne Marie, Taylor, Shalom 12. I think I might have Shalom 12 on here twice. Yeah, you're on here twice. Sorry, Shalom 12. I'm going to cut you off this sheet here because you're already on it. I'm sorry. The autism made me do it. Heidi Bowman, Red Jen, Catherine Raven, the other TJ, and Rodrigo. Dandu Jason? Dandu Jason? Anne Whale, Ashley N, Anne Key, Helen, Asthea, Nom Nom Pardlow, Nit Flitwick, Eunice, John B, Jenny K, Minkwell, Storm Breeze, Jeff J, Scott R, Juju, Dandori, Yona. Dandori, I've already got you. Yona, so it's just Yona then. All right. Yeah, anyone can join. Natalie O, there are 2 Natalies. We got another Natalie in there. Right. Thank you for your honesty. Who else? Just my autisticalies. Okay. Okay. Yeah, Dandori, I took off your second one. Yeah, anyone can join. Harriet W, you're in there twice, are you? I'm not sure you are. My handwriting is something else. It's something else. Is Isabella on a yes? We've got 2 Isabellas, different ones. I'm letting know what I want to pass. Okay. That's it. Isabella, you can be on there. It's okay. Okay, right. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut out everybody's names. I don't know if you want to do it during a break or if you guys want to watch me like it's some sort of like election counting thing. Do you know what I mean? Like to make sure the election is done fairly. Do you know what I mean? Because and I don't know if we should get like maybe Nina to do the draw or something, like just to make it. Right, here we go. So there's Yona, just my autisticalies. Right, what I'll do is I'll do 2 folds. Just feels like it's fair. Buckets open. We normally do this on a web engine. I don't know why I decided to wait for the largest live stream with a guest book to do a flipping paper-based thing. Just my autisticalies. How are you going to pick them then? Give the papers to the cats whose never name survives? How did you cut them so quickly? Asti, I haven't cut them all. I've got to do all of this paperwork on the live stream. I've got to do all this paperwork on the live stream. I've got to do... Is the bucket big enough? Yeah, and I will make sure it's done as fairly as possible, okay? And we're going back to digital after this. This is probably going to be the last... the last time we do a paper one. But I can cut them quite efficiently. It's not like I have any sort of like motor skills issues. So he talks about, in his book, he talks about connectivity stuff. I love paper and pencil much more than digital stuff. The storm breeze. Look, see? I'm not, I don't want any like, look, see? Names. Okay, all going in there. I'll just fold it once and then fold it again. I do like the feel of paper too, actually. I'm a big fan. Yeah, Storm, you're in there. Juju, ready? I'm so sorry. Normally we just do this using like a... Jesus, I do it the hard way. I didn't know. The fact is, I'm very sorry, everybody, but I wasn't that active in the chat. This hope you forgive me. I wasn't that active, isn't it, Flitwick? Eunice. Okay. Oh no! Someone fell out. Okay, you're back in there. John B. Going in there. Okay, Jenny K. And the Mink Wills. Not especially active in chat. Yeah, normally I'm a lot more like... how many autistic ADHDs get into gambling? Unfortunately, it's quite a lot. It's quite a lot of us. Yeah, it's quite common. Anki, this is Helen. I feel like we need to be doing like multiple draws. Do you know what I mean? Like increase the chances. I don't know how to do it. Okay, I'll tell you what we'll do. I'll tell you what we can do. All right. I might be making work for myself here. Dandori Jason, fold. Anki, ready, is... I mean, you won't get a signed copy, but what I could do is I could do a gift card for a digital copy, which is what I think we'll do. We'll do 2 giveaways. How about that? Make that super fun. We'll do a super duper giveaway, and we'll do 2. And one of them will be for a gift card for the book, which hopefully you spend on the book and not on, you know, Pardlo. Foldy. This is what you look like. Okay, so we're going to do 2. Anna Whale. Is it Whale? I'm sorry if it wasn't Whale. That's what I've written on here. As long as we can identify 1 token per person, that's all we need to know, isn't it? We don't need to know any more than that. Okay. Lola P, you're 20 minutes back. Does that mean we've been doing this giveaway for 20 minutes? Oh my goodness. Okay. Right. And by the rules of the International Lottery Code, I just made that up, but actually is a thing. You have to have free to enter. But of course it's free to enter. Why wouldn't it be? Right. Oh, no. Don't want to cut off Shalom 12 there. You cut the 12 off. Right, we got... Okay, I'm going to make this slightly bit smaller because that's quite a big. Anna Bray. Anna B, you're in the box. Beth G, you're also in the box. It doesn't make a noise. Plutonium Lolly, you are in the box. And by the way, thank you very much for my lovely gift package in the previous stream. Anne-Marie, you are also in the box. Red Jen, you are also in the box. No purchase necessary. Yeah, we just literally doing the phone. Taylor, Shalom 12, you're going in the box. Mike actually turns into Mr. Beast. Oh, Harriet, my mind is going Mr. Beastie. But do you know something? He ran some dodgy lotteries. He did back in the early days. and shouldn't have done. He did some naughty lotteries. Catherine Raven. And we are not going to do naughty lotteries. Do you know why? Autism. Interesting thing that Pierre was talking about in his book is, imagine if you had a special interest in like bomb making. Say that you were really into bomb making. You could end up on a list, right? You could end up in trouble. The other TJ. Well, hi, Rodrigo. Well, like, or it could end up to be like some super cool sort of engineering special interest for you. Okay, we've got 3 pages left to go, and I've got a system here. This is the next page. Cutting them out is actually really quick. I'm sorry this is not the most exhilarating content for everybody. I would have made it more fun. I'm kind of glad that Pierre is like powdering his nose or something, because I don't think this would be a fun thing to do with a guest. Like, well, the giveaway would be, but we need to do an electronic one next time. Okay, Esmeralda, you're going in the box. A wild buzzard landed 20 feet from you. That's amazing. Harriet W, there you are going in the box. Robotron Richard, you're going in the box. A naughty lottery. Well, naughty lottery is like where you go, would you like to win this book? Then please make a donation, you know, £10 or something. Everyone wins something. Go over here and pay. But it's not like, it's not free to win, and everybody is fair. That's the problem. Ari, which is a short name, but everybody gets the same sheet, the same length of paper, basically. Rolled in there. Ari is also the name of a bird. What's her name? Jaden Animations, Ari. Natalie O. I'm making pancakes while you're doing this. Yeah, amazing. Tales of Light. You're going in here. I appreciate the analog process. Beth, I thank you for saying that. That's actually making me feel slightly better. Cathal Hex. That one. Which these are real. These are probably possibly usernames. I might have mirrored in your username. If I thought that the name you were giving me is a bit too generic, like Mike. There were 3 Mikes in my class. But if you've given me a generic sort of Mike, or, you know, if you basically just give me your name, we've got quite a few similar names in here, then I've probably used your username, which will be unique. Layla P. Okay, we're down to 2 sheets of paper now. We've actually made really good progress. Just these 2 to go. Wait till you fit in the box. Often until you fit in the box. Okay, you're the first name on the sheet, Ellie. Right there. You'll be going in the box last, but don't worry, it will be shaken up. And I don't know if we want to use the invisible hand of T to actually do the draw, so that you guys don't think I'm doing some magic show or something, because I'm not. But we will do 2 draws. Okay? Why are we going to do 2 draws? I don't know. Undiagnosed ADHD. Right, let's go. That's why we're going to do 2 draws. The other draw will have to win the book virtually somehow. Probably via Amazon code. Caitlin L. Reg Peterson. Pound Shop Janeway. Harriet W. Natalie. TJZ. That's TJ Zamboni. Ty W. Yeah, I just enjoy being you, Mike, whatever you're doing. ALT community, absolutely. Please ask T-Ferry to do the draw. Well, T-Ferry's going to be doing the draw then. I don't know if T-Ferry's in bed or whatever, but TJ is going to be doing the draw. Right, Chloe J. I don't know if that says Chloe J. I think it says Chloe J. Someone on chat can probably read my handwriting. I'm definitely in twice. I don't think you are, Harriet. E. Berry. Amanda S. That is just paper going that way. Right, we're down to our last sheet. Defo Ram. Okay. Well, we're gonna have to cross that bridge when we come to it, then, Harriet, because this is full. Like, we'll see. Because there's more. There's more names. Okay. Here we go. Toffel. Thomas G. Cheska. Elemental. And as nice as paper is, I would prefer to do an electronic one next time. We'll do it electronically. Here we go. Next time, spread out all the names across the room. Let Hydra in. Whoever sits down closest to wins. We could do that. Harry, I don't think you're in there twice. I really don't. But I can check afterwards if you want. Toffel. Okay, we recount if Harriet wins. Harriet's suggestion. Thomas G. I don't think you're in there twice though. If we pull a Harriet, then I'll do a funny dance. Sheska. I'm not actually reading out the names of everyone that I put in there, mind you. To start with, I wasn't reading them, was I? Lucy Bird. Elemental. You have to actually be here. Hi, Chinooka. I wonder if one could code a YouTube chatbot to handle entries. Yeah, you could do. Vicky H. Because it could be done like you have to use a special code word and just type it into the chat and then, or just into the comments or something. General Lotta. Hello, you can tell I'm getting bored of folding that paper now, can't you? I was trying to hit the microphone. I hope I didn't headbutt any of you. And then this one is Sepatini. Oh, my handwriting. There you go, that one. I think it's definitely wrong. Right, okay, here we go. Is everyone ready? If we call a draw and you're not on the chat, we will redraw. T Ferry. Nina? I could go find Nina. I don't have a drum roll. I've got an applause. But I don't have a drum roll. Right, I'll go see if T Fairy's around. T Fairy was watching T Fairy television. Yeah, here we go. 2 draws. Ready? Two draws. How many cats think you're shaking treats? Well, this one. Look, is Saber. Ah, oh God. We need more time. I've got to put everything back. I accidentally broke it. Sorry. Everyone has an equal opportunity of having fallen out of the tin. No one fell out of the tin. Can you just pretend that didn't happen? Okay, work with me here. Oh, Saber. Okay, I hear that the camera's broken. I just need a second. I will fix it. Okay, 1 second, everyone. Nothing shady's going on. Am I back? Not back? Oh man. All right, hang on. Okay, I'm back, right? Is it working? I'm not stacking the deck. Stop. Hang on. Right, hang on. Okay, hang on. We're not there, are we? It's not. Saber. Right, I need to move the cat. You naughty Sabes. Right, 1 second. Tin's still here. I'm still here. I just got to figure this out. 1 moment. 1 second. Oh man, Saber. It's not exciting. It's. Oh, come on. Right, hang on. Just give you 1 second, please. Sabes, I'm going to give you away. We're going to have a draw, and then someone can come claim you. Was it a cat? Yeah, it was a cat. 1 second. Yes, 1 second. Okay. I think we're good. We're good. Right, and then I just need to turn my mic on. Oh my God. Saber. I think I'm here now. No, you're Saber. Does anybody want this cat? Are we live? Is this working? Saber! Why do you have to break things? He interrupts every single video I make. Every single time this cat just saves. Every single time. Right, the first draw is for the cat. Okay? You have to supply your own front leg. He's only got one front leg. There is sound. There's definitely sound, right? Oh, Saves, thanks for the cat fabric. Could we please have an F in the chat if the sound is working? And then we will do this draw. No sound, okay. Okay, there is sound. Oh. Right. The background music's off. Oh, hang on. Right, the sound should be good. Right, we do 5 and 5. Okay, cool. If you don't have sound, you're not going to hear me say this, but you need to just restart. Do you know what I mean? Just like quit YouTube, come back in. Thanks, everyone. Whew. Right, okay, we're here. Finally. Finally here. Okay. Right. Here we go. So many people love Saber. Right, T-Fairy, can you please do a draw for me? We're going to give us a big shake so that the people at the start, I tell you what, I'm going to put my hand in there and actually properly, you know what I mean? Like properly ruffle this about. Do you know what I mean? Like get a handful of entries and then do this. We're doing 2 draws. Okay. 1 draw for the book and 1 draw for an electronic copy. Okay. Pierre, better bloody love me. I'll be buying like 4 or 5 versions of his books. Sabes, no, it's not treats. Look. It's just names. Okay, here we go. T-Fairy is there. T-Fairy needs to deposit Tosca or something. You want to give me the cat? Oh, you want the cat to do the draw? The cat can't do the draw unless you put a sticky pad on her foot or something. Oh, there's an idea. There's an idea. You want to? Okay. You're not going to do it then? Right. This is open. Okay, I've got an idea. Bit of sellotape? Gas what? No, we're not going to do it. Okay. We're not going to get the cat to do the draw. Saber could do the draw if you want. Sorry, let's get on with it. Put one out. A drum roll. Oh, hang on, 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. I'm sorry, everyone. 1 second. Like this will all be done in like under 2 minutes. So hold fire. 1 second. Face ID. Yeah. Come on. 1 second. 1 second. Okay. And then we're going to go here, and then we're going to do this. Okay, ready? What's that? No, drum roll. Epidemic sound.
Is this draw this week or next?
Draws now. That's not it. That's a suitcase. That's toilet paper. Here. Ready? Draw. Draw a name. Ow! Shit! I landed on my bollocks! What are you doing, woman? What are you doing? Why would you throw a cat at my balls? What are you doing? Seriously, what the fuck are you doing? You just throw the cat on my balls on a live stream. I'm doing the draw. I'm doing the draw. Thank God that was a kitten. Get out. Get out. Bad tea fairy. Okay. Let's have another go. The first one to win is Rodrigo. Wins a copy of the book. But don't go because we're going to do it again. Rodrigo. Are you in the chat? You have to claim the book. Is Rodrigo in the chat? You have a few minutes. Because if you're not, we can draw it again. Rodrigo, congratulations. You have won this book. I need to give you the instructions. Okay, the instructions are to email me. Rodrigo, draw. Rodrigo, say something. Say something quick. I need you to say something, or we will redraw. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll give it a week, and we'll draw it again in a week. So if you don't claim it, Rodrigo, you've got a week. And if you don't claim it, we'll draw again in a week. I'm very, you gave up the will to live. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. Rodrigo, yes, you've won the book. This is yours. Please email me. It's mike@autisticafter4040.com with a place to post it. Anywhere in the world is fine. I will post it to you. It will get signed by the cats, and it's on its way to you. Basically, I'll post it within a week. So you'll get it. Depend where you live, really. For some reason, the Netherlands takes like a month, but everywhere else, a week or two, whatever. Okay, draw number 2. This is for an electronic copy. Yeah, Rodrigo, you won it. This is yours. This is yours. Congratulations. I need... I'm kind of in pain as well, guys. Like excluding North Korea and Russia, I mean, you could actually legitimately give me those addresses and I'll post it. Right, well, Rodrigo's going to be very, very happy in about 5 minutes. Right, okay. Second draw. Are you ready? Well, I'll do it like this. Okay, here we go. Are we ready? Let's do the drum roll. Oh, that was a very quick drum roll. Harriet W, which means we're going to redraw, because Harriet said redraw if her name comes up. So we're going to do it again. This is funny. Is everyone ready? We have Dandori Jason. Dandori? Dandori's in the chat. There you go, Dandori. Dandori, can you also please email me and I will get a voucher to you for this book. It's could you please email me like within a day or so, because I get a shit ton of emails. This is not me being like weird and like I don't know, like, but I get a lot of stuff, and I will go looking like tomorrow, and please have an email there. It might be my junk, but I will look. So congratulations to Rodrigo for winning this copy of Why Can't I Just Enjoy Things? And congratulations to Dandori for winning it as well, but not that copy because I only have one hard copy. You'll get like a voucher. There we go. Congratulations, everybody. And like, I don't know if you guys know how many look. Do you know what I mean? Like this, it's not like a small amount of work. Electronic next time. Electronic next time. We got great value for money from this draw. Good times. Except for Mike's balls. Mike's balls are very sore right now. I'm genuinely. Half of you won't understand this. Actually, slightly more than half of you, because I think it's like 50. It's up to about 55%. Disclosed as female. I don't know how it works. How Google's demographic works, because it gives me male, female, and other. I'd like the other broken down a little bit. Because obviously there's like rather not say, and then we've got like the queer and trans communities. But anyway, enough of that for now. It's just to say that, the Tea Fairy Nina really did throw. I mean, I've had a lovely evening and all, but like she just literally chucked a cat. You did. You threw Tosca at my balls. I don't know why you did that. I'm like, just pass it here, put it on the desk or something, and you were like, rugby. You threw it like an American football at my nuts.
Really?
You did.
Really?
I've got like witnesses.
Uh-huh.
I have.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And I have scratches from the launch.
No sympathy. Do you see my sympathy face? As we were saying. So I've got to organise this thing.
I like rusty spoons.
Wrong button. I've really got to organise this thing. Like, I skipped over it. Right, we'll do that then. No, it's not sharp kitten claws. It's more like Helen, how heavy would you say the kittens are? Like 3 kilos? Do you throw like 3 kilograms? They're not light. They're not light. We started the stream talking about eye contact at urinals. We then had I hope everyone had fun. I'm really, really sorry. My brain couldn't cope with everything and the chat. 3.4, 3.2 kilos. There you go. So take 3 kilos of soft weight. Admittedly, it doesn't need to be an actual brick. Was it Anna, not Tosca? It was Tosca. I'm sure it was Tosca. She's now trying out autism. We had fun. Yeah. It's definitely fun. It's not. It's always fun. Come on. This is always fun, right? Like, it's not like it's like, oh, it's fun today because we had someone else on. Okay. So we started by talking about the eye contact at urinals, moved on to a conversation with Pierre. Oh, my hands are on his eyes. That feels a bit weird. With Pierre, he looks a little bit serious in that photograph. I'll be honest with you. It's a nice cover. I like the cover. Very serious. And then we moved on to a draw. Rodrigo sent me a postal address for that to go to, and Dandori. I just need an email address, really, don't I? That's it. And I'll voucher you. And then what happened? We did a draw. The 2 people won. It's good. It's good. It's good. Welcome to season 2. So, like I said, we've got some fun stuff planned, which I kind of want to keep quiet on, because then it becomes fun. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to spoil the surprise. But we got some really good fun stuff on the way. Thank you, Rodrigo. Thank you, Rodrigo. I've got it. I've got it. Okay, sorry for that bit of quiet there. It was just a bit of admin. If I didn't do it, if I didn't email you, Rodrigo, right now, I will basically forget. Does anyone else relate to that? Like, I will basically not do it. That's not me being like, I'm not saying I wouldn't do it. Of course I'd do it, but like, it would hang over me, like a burden, and I just wouldn't do it, and it would just stress me out. So it's just like right now. Appreciate it's going to like waste 100 people's time, but I'm just going. But I'm so sorry. I don't mean it in a rude way. I mean like right now, because I can do it right here, just tap to tap, and then that's now done. I have a meme for this. Strange Crit. I want to see it. I'm so hydrated right now. Amazing. If everyone just takes one thing away, and it's Hydra reminding us to hydrate, that's like so much of the job done. Like it's so like, you know, we're not talking about like middle class white women in yoga pants, you know, whatever. Like the benefits of hydration. It's just with hypo-interoceptive awareness. Sometimes I forget to drink I actually drink more during these live streams than I do ordinarily because I'm conscious of having something to drink because my throat will be dry. Strange Quasar, no you can't because it's just YouTube chat. But if you're on Twitch, you can, and it will pull it through, or at least the link will, I think. And if you're on Discord, obviously, you can post them there. Reminding us to protect our balls. So it just reminds me of that. Well, Nina's saying it's Anna, but it looked like Tosca to me. It reminds me of the South Park song. It's from a South Park episode called Good Times or Fun Times with Weapons. And the kids go to this like stall, and the stall owner is basically selling weapons to children. And the kids are sort of play fighting. There's a really funny song in it. It's in the Feral Memes channel. Amazing. Thanks, Rachel. Thanks, Mike. Now that song's playing in my head. I can't play it here because it's obviously copyrighted, very strongly copyrighted. But yeah, wow. So we have done it, everybody. We had our. What's this? If I had this, what's this? What's this? We had a cool special guest. That was amazing. I love chatting with Pierre. Apologies again for missing the chat. I know Pierre has previously streamed on Twitch back in a while ago, back during the pandemic. He got into Twitch streaming, so I know he's sort of familiar with the chat. But yeah. That's the other things going on. But yeah, there is that. Phew. I work in an environment that causes too much anxiety. One's book today was really great. That's amazing. I'm really pleased. I'm not going to read that Elm Light because it would sound like an advert. And they really do, you know, someone needs to sponsor me. Do you know what I mean? I turn down sponsorship offers a lot because it's mostly crap. So, but you know, if Bellissimo or if Hugh will want to get in touch, that would be a good one. I'll tell you what I use anyway. Like, I don't know if that influences you to order something. Get this book. If you have some spare money, this is the book to buy. You get it on Kindle. It's the cheapest way to get it. And it's brilliant. And you don't need a Kindle to use Kindle. You can use it on the web or on the Kindle app. Phoenix, recommended you to our women's Auti group today at our meeting. Hey, that's really nice of you. Thank you. I haven't made content I have talked about it a lot because obviously it's a big topic. Obviously, like, quote unquote, you know, if I said to you like theory of mind or extreme male brain, same thing, but like female or, you know, But maybe I will. Some days I wish I was a woman. For example, today, if we're going to be throwing cats at groins, Helen, well done, Mike. Great stream. More getting updates in Discord. Gmail's in response to you. Yeah. Damn straight, Helen. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's true. Is the link in the show notes elemental? Yes. In the description of this video, there is a link to both the US and UK Amazon stores. You won't find it in a cheaper, well, you might, like Waterstones or Barnes & Noble or something, but you won't find it sort of secondhand yet. This book is brand new. It's just come out. It's not been out for long. But yeah, there's an Amazon link in the description. It is an affiliate link. It doesn't cost you any more. And I can't see who's used it or who hasn't used it. Do you know what I mean? Like, but if you want to use it at no cost to you, if you're shopping on Amazon anyway, why not? It does give the channel a tiny commission, which is great because that's how I pay for everything. Because you guys help me out, so that's how it works. That's how we get. That's how this thing goes on. Storm Bros, I hate it when people talk about girl boy traits. I think I got quickly through the intake in 5 minutes to stay typical autism traits. Yeah, I think generally speaking, when people are talking about girl boy traits, they're kind of talking about masking, basically. They're talking about sort of the emotional socialization that, AFABs go through. And I say it like that because that is essentially the one differentiator. And for example, if you have a intense interest in typical boy things like Thomas the Tank Engine, trains, no shit, it's kind of more stereotypical. Whereas if you have intense interest in things like My Little Pony, which is the kind of almost diametric opposite of Thomas the Tank Engine, then it's just, you go and so what. So there you go. That's the video. I can expand on it, but that's basically it. Next Tea and Tales, Paige Leal's book. Yeah, by the way, do recommend to me if there's someone or something I should know about. I didn't know about Pierre Novellie. I might have seen him on like a YouTube clip at some point, but my brain hadn't engaged. A bit like the Isle of Man connection. So my friend who's actually cited in my diagnostic report, not by name, but there's a little bit in there which relates to him, who went to school with Pierre. It didn't connect to my brain that Pierre was from the Isle of Man. I had no idea. So I found out from him, which is nuts, right? I'm saying it's nuts, but I'm looking at a picture of a squirrel, so that's what made me say it's nuts. Thomas says, if you're in Canada, you can also take out Pierre's book for free from the AIDE, that's the AIDE Canada Library. Great. So yeah, I'm coming to Pierre Novellie from the autism angle rather than from his sort of comedy work. Beth, have I read Orion Kelly's book? I have. It's also on Hoopla for free. Do it. Definitely do it. If you can get it some other way, then please do. Like, the content of Pierre's book is mandatory reading for everyone. The guy went to Cambridge University. We didn't even mention it, but he knows how to write. You know what I'm saying? He's let me flip it around to you a little bit and say my presentation skills are a lot better now after a year of live streaming and YouTube than they were at the start. I watch my old videos now and cringe. I cringe so much. My video on monotropism is really cringy, but you should watch it, by the way. It's quite a good video, but like, it's presented cringe. The writing, I think, is good. I stand by it, but I can't watch it. It just makes me want to, it's like somebody eating loudly next to me. That's how I feel about my first video. But Pierre obviously has this history of writing essays and doing some heavy research into, we forgot to talk about it, but the history, ancient civilizations, that's his passion. Like, so, he talks about sort of ancient Norse and other, I'm now showing you my ignorance. So he can write. But also, Fern Brady is probably the most prominent autistic comedian. One of the more prominent female comedians in the UK. I don't know if circuit's the right way to put it, but she's on TV a lot. She's on a lot of sort of like panel sort of chat shows and things. And her book is fantastic. Her book is like a memoir, whereas Pierre's book is more like a guide. I sold that right? Yeah, they're both worth reading in their own ways. Fern had experience of CAMS, so that's the hospitals that you get sectioned in, which is very nice. She talks about that experience. That, by the way, is pretty much your only route in towards an adult autism diagnosis. Say, for example, on the Isle of Man, where I am, or Britain more generally, a CAMS unit referral is another common pathway. Maybe we should talk about pathways to adult diagnosis. I've got a lot of I don't mean to say useless, but like I've got a lot of niche autism information now from researching for YouTube for a year. So it's like, let's talk about pathways to adult autism diagnosis, something that no one really wants to talk about. But yeah, Fern's book's very good. Fern also narrated her own book, and I find Fern's accent funny. So that's, part of the audiobook version. I'll show you, Claire, my study for my first degree was ancient civilizations. This was so long ago, it was current events. I'll stop. That's really, really funny. JB, it sucks that workplaces so discriminatory towards autistic people. Yeah, it does. And that's why I would love to shove his book in front of everybody, and get people who are willing to read it. My fear is that books like this will only ever be read by the crowd, I guess, if that's the right term to use, like us, the choir, because he goes into double empathy towards the end, but you can read essentially double empathy issues all the way through the entire book. This lucky well, I think I'd be interested in Right to Choose, which allows you to get an NHS diagnosis through private clinics with short waiting times. Yeah, they go through. They do a lot of referrals to Psychiatry UK. By the way, one of my claims to fame is I was one of the original development team for the NHS Choosing book, which is what Right to Choose. That's what the precursor to Right to Choose. It's the same system. It just got rebranded. I was one of the first 4 people on that project. Was I the only one who took cat allergy and read anti-antihistamines literally thought Pierre was actually coming to Mike's house? Oh, Topple, I'm sorry. I was just playing. We were just playing. You'll probably be alright here, to be honest, even if you had a cat allergy. We have hard floors and Rimba's running pretty much constantly. The only time I'm not running is when like filming or something. They're pretty much background noise here. And obviously we have, it's an old property, so it's not like hermetically sealed or anything. So we get muddy paw prints, but you'll probably be okay here if you had no cat allergy. Psychiatry UK has stopped taking on private patients now. Yeah, but they were one of the biggest. So, I hope everyone has thoroughly enjoyed themselves. I had a blast. We are going to go and do an after party shortly and play some games. We've been doing that on a few after parties. Last week we looked at... Hang on. Let me pause that thing. Let me make myself big again. Can I go side by side? Come on now. This should be easy to do. There we go. Last week we looked at, actually it's what Meg ended up doing a video on, which was Jubilee's episode about spotting autistic people. Basically they had 3 autistic people, one of them was Paige Leal, and they just sort of spotted seemingly random people, in a queue, and then they asked them a few questions and then had to choose. That was it. It was very like swipe right, swipe left type of thing. We talked about that. KW, thank you. Scott, thanks. So we did that, and the week before that, and the week before that too, we were playing some games from Jackbox Games. We have other games. Oh, now is a good time for me to tell you all, before you leave, is that I'll be streaming Christmas. So let me pull myself back up again here. Right. Quite a lot of people have got either... Look, no one's Christmas is good, is it? Like, come on now. I'll be streaming on... I'll be doing a Christmas Eve stream, and I'll be doing up to 3 streams on Christmas Day. So you'll be able to catch me on Christmas Day at a convenient time for you. I'll be streaming here in the morning, in the afternoon, and the evening, the nighttime. So there will be a stream that matches your Christmas as well. So if you're on your own at Christmas and you want some company, definitely tune in. This isn't an announcement like for next week. This is like 4 or 5 weeks from now. But I'll be doing streams over the Christmas period. Christmas Eve, 24th of December, and Christmas Day, the 25th of December. We have Christmas here on Christmas Eve, which is kind of fairly common for... That's a Nina thing. That's a Nina and Nina's family thing. It's the Norwegian thing. But yeah, Christmas Day and so on, we'll be doing that. I'll be seeing my family, but we'll be streaming all over it. So that's going to be nice. So if you're spending Christmas alone, definitely tune in. I can promise you chaos, hopefully no cats and balls. We will play games for sure. We are getting set up in the Discord for all kinds of games. And some of that will bleed out, obviously, into... I say bleed out, that's a really bad term. But like... It'll come out into the YouTube stuff as well, YouTube sphere. So yeah, don't spend Christmas alone. We've got Christmas together. That's an option. Don't feel pressured. Don't avoid seeing your family and doing uncomfortable Christmas conversations with like racist uncles and stuff. Like, do that if you need to. Don't feel like, hey, I need to not do that because Mike's doing a thing. Because Mike will do several things. There will be at least 4 streams over Christmas. There will be at least 1 Christmas Eve one. There'll be at least 3 Christmas Day ones, depending, so it will fit your time zone. That's what's happening here. Watch the casting Christmas balls. Yeah, I'm still a bit sore, to be honest. That was not fun. This is not what I meant by chaos. So we'll do an after party. We'll start it in like 10 minutes. And we'll play a few rounds of Jackbox games there and catch up. But yeah, last week we did the Jubilee reaction thing. None of it's recorded. After party is not available like for record or whatever. It's accessed via my Patreon, Discord. So that's going to happen. So thank you all for tuning in. I hope you all had a brilliant time. I really loved it, by the way. I had a great time. Pierre's a blast. That was really, really good fun. That was our first time talking, by the way. So that was good. I enjoyed that. Okay, yeah. Let's make this one big. And I'll see you, some of you, on the other side. Otherwise next week. Otherwise Sunday. We'll do that. I'll see some of you in the after party in a minute, in like 10 minutes, on Discord. I'll see the rest of you in a week on Tuesday. Oh, and also Sunday for the long form videos. Let's not forget YouTube and YouTube videos. That's still happening. Let me know. So this is season 2. This is my 2nd year on YouTube, just starting. Yeah, let's make it cool. I guess I'm talking shit now, aren't I? Bye. Dandori, you need to email me, okay? So do it soon. Obligation for you. I'll give you a week. You've got 7 days to email me. It's not as crucial as Domingo because I have to go to the post office for that one. But like, email me, okay? Anyone else who's emailed me, I'm really sorry. I'm shit at handling correspondence. Some people email me huge amounts of stuff, and I am hyperlexic. But honestly, I want to give it time, and And also, it's kind of like a better use of my time to do something like this to like 100 rather than like one at a time. However, I am on Discord basically 24/7. Like, that's like a better place to be, I think, Discord. So I'll see you there. Otherwise, YouTube. Otherwise, next week, etc. Okay, bye.